Welcome back, everyone. Thank you who joined us for pregame. It is now the game. It's the watch party. We are watching along, and Charlie has been found.
Hey, I'm here.
He's not in Florida. He's not lost in time and space like in Manifest. He's actually here.
I was near Times Square. Not time and space, but Times Square.
There we go. So Chuck is here. Kelly's here. Your director of fun and games is here. And the Flyers are up 1-0. Who knew? All it took was the return of John Tortorella. And, Kelly picked them to win 6-0.
Did you?
No, I made all my bets on Boston, like team total, Pasternak to score. What was the other one? Pasta over a point and a half.
Yeah.
Because he kills them. 26 goals in 29 games. So, of course, before we even get the watch party started, the Flyers have scored and they're leading 1-0.
I love it. No, it was a really nice goal.
Sure was.
Obviously, it's Ryan Poehling who gets the goal, but Garnet Hathaway with a really nice pass. Also, I really like the play that Yegor Zamula made to spring the 2-on-1 with Hathaway and Poehling.
Here we go. Nice
there we go. We just show it. Just a little pass under some forechecking pressure, and then it's a 2-on-1, and Hathaway just slings it over to Poehling. So that line continuing to be
this line.
It had a bad game last game. And you were starting to wonder, is the magic going away? They were on the ice for 3 goals against the Leafs.
I was going to say.
But good start tonight. So
no, absolutely. And that's like, listen, they're going to have bad games. That's why I like on a good team, that's an awesome fourth line.
Yeah.
Like you're giving them 12 minutes a night tops.
Yeah.
Like that's it. They can't be your like, they're fueling the team. Well, that's bad.
Well, I will say that they're definitely not the fourth line tonight because we have a line of Nick Deloriers, Scott Laughton, and Cam Atkinson. And Laughton has been significantly better since the All-Star break. Last couple of games, not great, but on the whole, significantly better. Nick Deloriers has rightfully been a healthy scratch, and Cam Atkinson has also rightfully been a healthy scratch. So that's definitely your fourth line tonight.
Charlie, we made a big deal out of it. And, when you cover the team day to day and when you're as terminally online as we all are, the little things drive us insane.
The little things, everything.
The Brink-Atkinson thing. My contention, it's not as they're going to lose with Atkinson, they're going to win with Brink. I think they're going to get their ass kicked by Boston either way. Now they're playing real well right now, so obviously I'm an imbecile.
I was going to say, don't you look stupid.
Oh, we know that.
John Tortorella today, when he addressed the media, said, the whole point of all this is I'm excited to be in these meaningful games and see how these guys respond in these meaningful games. Bobby Brink being in those games makes sense. That makes not tearing it down, rebuilding, that makes playing in these games worth it if Brink is in them. Atkinson in them makes it make no sense.
See, I disagree with you in that, I do think that there is a certain bias here of, Cam Atkinson, he's trash, just throw him overboard, never let him play again because he sucks. You do have to get these guys in games, and Cam Atkinson at times this season has been effective. I do not think that this is a case of Brink matters more than Atkinson, so fuck Cam Atkinson, he never plays again.
Oh, I don't think, right now, I don't think Bobby Brink's lighting the world on fire.
I mean, and I do think one of the reasons why Brink sits tonight is because, and I actually didn't see this live, but I believe it was the 5th goal in the Leafs game. It was the one that came 13 seconds after the Matthews goal.
Yeah.
I think Brink blew a coverage. And
I was in the elevator for that one.
You know that Tortorella,
I was on the way here.
That is the thing that Tortorella loses his mind with Bobby Brink. It's the same thing he would lose his mind with Morgan Frost. He might not have been on the bench for that game, but he was watching.
It's just if they're gonna get nothing out of either guy, I don't see how Brink gets better by not playing. At this point, I don't see how he gets better.
Their viewpoint is that if it's not handed to Bobby Brink, that he will be a better player over the long term. Now, are they right? I think it's reasonable to disagree, but that's their viewpoint. That's the way they've been developing these guys all year. Really, the past 2 years.
I just the last time Cam Atkinson recorded a point was January 23rd. He has played 15 games since then. He sat some, so it's more team games than that. If you're going to get nothing out of either, I want nothing out of the guy who may one day give you something.
Yeah, but I guess they're looking at it. Oh, here we go.
All right.
Well, was that Cam Atkinson right there? It sure was.
Oh, look at that.
That was something. He got a shot on goal.
Make us look dumb, baby. Let's go.
There we go.
He tipped one lightly towards the goaltender for an offensive zone face-off.
I'm looking at it with Atkinson where I still think they have hope, and I still have hope, truthfully, that they can get him in some semblance of a rhythm, on some semblance of a role before the season ends, because he is still one of their highest paid players. You'd like not to just like relegate him to the void for the next month. I also will say, going to practices and watching Cam Atkinson, like, he is not pouting. He is definitely approaching this the right way. He's doing a ton of extra work after practice. And there is an element of, you know, somebody's handling something the right way and they're working their ass off to get back in the lineup. When a player like Bobby Brink screws up, maybe you give Cam Atkinson another shot.
Plus,
I don't hate throwing Atkinson back in this game.
I don't. It's not the end of the world. Like, we talk about these things because we cover the team.
Yeah.
And like we're going to talk about something.
Sure.
Like, I don't think John Tortorella should be fired because he's playing fucking Cam Atkinson. Like, no, that's not my belief. I just think if we're not going to be getting Macklin Celebrini,
which they're not.
Exactly. Like, it's not the plan.
Not with that attitude.
It's not they're not attempting to. Then they should try to maximize the guys they have. And I guess I just disagree that this is going to make him better in the long run. And that's their belief, and we just disagree.
Yeah, it's fair. I am excited, though, in this game to see if the fact that Sean Couerier is again back with legitimate line mates.
It would be nice.
It would be very nice to see him produce some offense to justify being back with legitimately good line mates. I believe he's with Joel Farabee and Travis Konechny. So it's functionally a first line again.
I don't think I mentioned this to you. I don't know. You haven't been in the studio in weeks.
I know. It's been a crazy last few weeks.
This schedule has been insane.
Yeah.
We were talking about Sean Couturier, and I was thinking about the time he missed with the injury. And then also, prior to that, is all the COVID shortened seasons. He hasn't played he played 80 games, but he hasn't played in a full 82 game season since he was 26 years old.
Wow.
He's now 31.
Wow.
It was 5 years ago.
It's been a weird last few years.
While he hasn't been like super impressive, and I know you'll argue he's been better than like.
I don't think he's been great.
He scored 2 goals this calendar year. You think he's been better than a guy who has 2 goals?
Yes, I do.
Like, I'm willing to give him the pass because he's got to play himself back into like remembering what this all is.
I just think he's
in
probably
5 years.
I just think he's probably worn down.
Oh,
I think that's
exactly.
And I think that there's an element of this where it's not that I necessarily think they were wrong to do it, because I understand why you're just trying to win games, but this is what you get for playing him 20 minutes a night for the first 45, 50 games of the year. Like they could have eased him back in a bit more than they did. Instead, they chose to pile the workload on him when he was playing really well. And I think this is kind of what happens when you pile the workload for the first half to 2/3 of the year on a guy who missed almost 2 full seasons.
And that's the other thing I think people forget. It's not like he was just treading water in the beginning of the season. He like was pretty damn good.
He was playing really well.
He was Sean Couturier again. If not 100%, 90%.
No, I think he was I think from a two-way standpoint, he was Sean Couturier again. The only thing that hadn't reappeared, and it still hasn't fully, obviously you bring up the 2 goals in however many games, the finishing ability. The finishing ability around the net still has not fully come back yet for Couturier. Because he used to have really good hands in close. I think it'll come back eventually, but it's clearly not all there yet.
He has underrated hands, like with the ability to make the power moves and like finish in a pretty slick way.
Or even just like recovering rebounds or making passes like in the crease area when a puck bounces in front of him. Uh-oh.
Does he have it?
Felix.
Sandstrom making the save.
Felix the cat.
Hey, buddy.
Great Primus song.
Welcome.
That was a really good save by Felix Sandstrom.
It really was.
I was expecting that to be a goal.
I 100% was ready for that to be a goal.
Full
as soon as the play
extension,
started developing,
sliding all
I
the
was
way
like,
post to
oh,
post. Oh, here we go again.
Confused as to why they weren't celebrating.
Now we're getting the Boston Surge here.
Yep.
There you go.
I feel like that's the name of a team,
the Boston Surge,
like a soccer team or something.
It would be
the
like,
women's team should consider that.
Yeah, it'd be
name.
a really good if there's a lacrosse team.
Like a lacrosse name.
Boston Surge.
Yeah, we got to get like a women's team here.
This
league looks.
I am legitimately ticked off that we don't have
I feel like
I wish we had one. Period. But we should have a WNBA team so we can get excited about Caitlin Clark because she friggin' rules.
God.
And that would be awesome if Philly was getting an expansion team just as Caitlin Clark is turning pro.
That was
That
the
would be
whole
awesome.
the Sixers, one of their owners recently brought up, like, made it a whole stadium thing. Like, oh, I would think about bringing one in, but I already hate my lease now. What am I going to sign another one?
Oh my God!
When
Why
I
is
get
that
my
guy just
stadium,
the most evil
I'll support
fucking guy?
I'll support women when I get my
up.
stadium.
Shut up.
Yeah, good luck.
It's
You're
just
going head to head with Comcast, who has a whole redevelopment. Like, oh, I wonder who's going to win this one.
Yeah, well,
Comcast?
We shall see. I am.
I don't know. I keep
I
waiting
am
for
not saying.
Fanatics to take an L, and it's not happening.
Yeah, I know.
I guess my view of that whole
Fanatic
thing.
Center is going to be the name of their new stadium.
My view of that whole thing is like I in no way, shape, or form am going to act like Comcast is this like beacon of integrity.
Oh, God, no.
However,
I just think they're going to win.
I really, really dislike Josh Harris and that whole crew. So it's like it's impossible for me to root for them with anything because I think they're just rich assholes.
Well,
I'm
they're
putting
all
it
rich
minus
assholes.
250 that the stadium's going to be called Fanatic Center.
No, they're going to have some sort of sponsorship. Come on.
Yeah, Fanatics.
Oh, Fanatics.
Yes.
I think you were saying fanatic. Like it was like a nod to a
no,
fanatic.
Okay. With an F.
Like the
Oh, yeah.
panels just fall off the wall
That would
halfway
be-
through the first season.
Truly amazing.
Oh,
Roofs
man.
leaking.
It would be
Shorts are too short.
It
I was
would be
gonna say
the
for some
best.
reason the logos are entirely too small throughout the stadium.
incredible. The first stadium
Shop at
that
Foco.
uses Fanatics as their sponsor. Oh man, they're going to get so much grief, and it will be so deserved.
Yeah, it'd be very funny. We need to put Coors Light in the Ollie Pop fridge. I feel weird, like getting up and like leaving and then coming back, like during the
Listen,
stream.
It's a watch party.
I saw Berman do it the other day when they were doing the Eagles show. I was like, what did he do? And then I realized it was like their 4.5 hour free agents frenzy thing. I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. You're
Yeah.
going to have to piss in 4 hours.
Naturally.
That's between that and like the What Chaos 24-hour show, Charlie. Vince said, oh, if you guys ever want to do something like that, like have fun. I was like, do
Can we
you think
not?
me and Charlie want to work for an entire day straight?
Can we not, please? I already work 24 hours normally.
I've gotten real used to working like an hour a day.
I cannot be held responsible for anything that I say after 6 hours.
No, that's the other thing is like at a
I
certain
cannot
point, I'm
promise.
just going to start like, yeah, you think no, this is professional Bill that you get when he's on the air. Like shit would get bad at a certain point. Like in 24 hours, yeah, I'm going to start talking about politics and you people won't like what I have to say.
Just start babbling.
Comrade Bill comes out to play. It'll be like the old days.
Yeah.
We had
Well, the Bruins are definitely waking up.
Yeah.
However, so far,
Shots were 5-0. Now they're 5-4.
Sandstrom's holding down the fort pretty well.
Couple of big saves so far.
What did you think about picking him to start this game?
I did not know that, and as the host of the Flyers show, that was a really good moment for me.
I knew Charlie.
Kelly knew.
Kelly knew.
I'm
I'm curious as to hear what your guys' thoughts are because obviously Harrison
he
struggled.
needs a break, man.
He struggled.
3 of his last 6, he's had a save percentage of like 750 or
Oh,
lower.
there's Brad Marchand being Brad Marchand.
lick him.
He hasn't changed.
Not
thought
even a
was,
little
like,
bit.
If you're going into this game thinking you're going to get rocked, maybe you don't put that on Harrison given the last few games. You just give him a little bit of a break.
That's actually a really good
Yeah.
They're gonna get killed either way because it's Boston and they get killed. Let's not do this to the dude who
might
we're
be a
gonna
little
need
fragile.
for the next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of like I volunteer as tribute. for
Yes.
this one.
Yes.
If you're gonna sacrifice someone, let it not be the guy who you need tomorrow.
Well, but so far so good.
No,
Sandstrom's holding his own.
been going real well. That's we said all this, and I said he's gonna have a fucking 45 save shutout. because
Yep.
Of course he is.
Next Lundqvist,
He's the
baby.
next. Yeah, I mean,
It
that's-
starts tonight.
we were saying like Felix Sandstrom has been around so long, Charlie. I remember when we had Jonesy on at our 2017 draft party, and we talked about Felix Sandstrom. I want to see this guy do something. Like if he could be the next Alex Lyon, like that would be dope. It probably isn't going to be here, given the goalie pipeline. But he's the guy I do root for.
Yeah. The thing with Sandstrom is that he's always had the athleticism. The talent is there. It's always been number one, the consistency across weeks and months. But number two, and this is the big one, it's been the consistency within games. He can make 3 highlight reel, jaw-dropping stops, and then he'll come out for the start of the second period and give up like the weakest goal ever. And that's just Sandstrom. And that's the reason why Tortorella got so frustrated with him last year when he was serving as like the kind of backup. If he could ever learn to stop giving up 1 or 2 weak goals a game, he could be a perfectly solid backup. It's just, what is he now? 26 years old?
27.
27. Like, you're kind of thinking if he hasn't learned it now, is he ever going to? But then you could point out, well, it took Alex Lyons until he was like 31 to be a good backup, and now he is. So I guess you never know with goalies. They're
don't
weird.
Make sense.
We need to get like
Tyson Forster for Calder. Who knew?
Rookie goalie. He got up there.
He should definitely get votes.
Rossi, I know Rossi got cold.
Yeah, Forster's tied with Rossi, 3 behind Bedard.
Bedard is the boring choice. Like, if you look back, if you want to make a statement, you want to have something interesting in the history books of the NHL, you vote for not Connor Bedard.
Well, I think the hipster choice, the hipster non-Bedard choice is not Forster. It is Faber from Minnesota.
Everyone loves Faber
because he has really, really good numbers.
Assists.
He's the number 1 defenseman now with Spurgeon. With Spurgeon out in Minnesota, and he's playing. I mean, I've barely gotten a chance to watch him, but the people I talk to,
watching a Minnesota.
People I talk to who cover the Wild say he's been great. So he seems like if you don't want to be like, if you don't want to do what everyone's going to do and vote for Bedard, Faber's the guy.
Yeah.
Well, if that's like the everyone's hipster vote, then the actual hipster vote is Tyson.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. You got to go 1 level down.
No, Faber is Brooklyn and Northern Liberties.
Northern Liberties is Forster. I love it.
Forster's Long Island City.
Frost a minute ago just made a real nice play on Pasternak down low.
Love to see that.
Stripped him from behind. He had geeky.
Yeah,
nerd.
Another good play by Zamula. I'm liking Zamula in this game.
He's having a good game.
Very strong first period for Z.
Cam Atkinson's out there, and now play's going the other way.
Oh, William.
I'm sorry. He's a good guy.
He seems like a very nice.
TK!
Oh. Travis, get that puck up.
Probably.
Well, that's a turning point.
We cursed
Travis
ourselves
Konechny,
by
2
making fun of
consecutive chances to extend the lead to 2-0, and then immediately Boston ties it.
It's one of them Toyota turning points.
Truly a Toyota turning point.
Oh,
actually, we can't even say that. They're not one of our sponsors.
We are going to have someone from Toyota on.
We are tomorrow at the Carnival.
At the Carnival.
Indeed.
So
we had that guy
give him a little
year,
shout
right?
out tonight. I believe so.
He didn't. So he got the first shot. Obviously, Konechny did. The rebound, it looked like
I don't think he connected.
He
on the
whiffed
rebound.
on it.
Yeah.
Like Swayman still had to make a save, but he definitely whipped on the shot.
Oh, it looks like this is actually going to work out for once, and the pizza's going to get here in intermission. That's sick.
Hot damn.
I mean, even that one, it's a good shot, but it's still a distant slap shot with no screen. You do kind of want your goalie to stop that one. It's a good shot.
It's a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to stop a nice shot.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to, stick that blocker out.
I don't like these Boston uniforms.
I just think Boston has such a perfect uniform.
Yeah, they didn't need
you shouldn't deviate
in
ever.
all black.
To me, they should never deviate. Like, they should wear whatever Bobby Orr wore.
Yeah, the crest, the Boston crest is a classic.
It's perfect, yeah.
It's really good. As much as I hate the Bruins, it's a classic.
Yeah.
I did like, and I might be in the minority here, they don't use them anymore. This was like years ago when we were younger. I liked as the third jersey, the bear.
The bear?
The
you
bear.
like the bear?
I dug the bear jerseys as thirds.
I like the way it looks, but I feel like they should feel the way we do about the Flyers crest. Like, it should only ever be that.
Yeah, see,
there are a few teams where the crests are so perfect that they don't need to.
Like, the Detroit Red Wings should only ever be that.
But I also am of the opinion that the Flyers maybe shouldn't be as restrictive of like I think they should open themselves up to maybe having one jersey without the crest.
No, thank you.
Or on like the crest on the shoulder rather than being the centerpiece.
I'm torn.
No.
I'm like, if I was running things, I'd probably be like, let's do that Quakers jersey.
Well, that's the thing. People still wear that friggin' thing, and it wasn't even a real jersey.
But the Devils have done it now.
Yeah,
I do like.
It's true. They did kind of steal it.
I do like the traditional, this is who we are. This is what we do. Like, I do like that.
I mean, they're never going to do it now because they know, like, Jonesy and everybody knows the old heads would lose their goddamn minds.
No, this has to be like maybe in 20 years when when a certain percentage of the current season ticket holders have passed on. Like, maybe you can flirt with the idea, consider it. But still, as long as there's people alive who are at the 74 and 75 parades,
this is true.
I hope I'll be dead. I don't want to see that shit. For me, these jerseys are too far.
The Flyers ones?
Too much weird blocky shit with these jerseys.
I like these jerseys. Oh my God. I think they're nice.
Why are we so against piping? Why can't anything be outlined?
I do.
You just want to go back to the 90s, Kelly.
Yes.
Accurate.
It's Pearl Jam night.
Every night's
That's
Pearl
a
Jam
penalty.
night,
Every night is Pearl
Not a
Jam
penalty
night
shot,
in this house.
But that's right. In this house, we fear and respect the Flyers logo.
I am not nearly as wedded to the piping as other people are.
I feel like it sets, the numbers specifically, it just sets them off nicely.
It does look weird the way they do it.
The way that they do it, it looks cheap to me. It looks like
you just ironed a bunch of patches
like an iron on. Yeah, they don't. It just doesn't look right to me. I feel like stitching around the stuff makes it look like an actual jersey not like a knockoff.
What I will say is I do agree that because the Bruins they have the outline around the numbers on the sleeves. I do agree that looks better.
Yes.
However, I am not someone who believes that the piping needs to be all over the jersey the same way it was in the 90s. I feel like that is a very 90s thing that we don't need to rehash.
I just think they should have I think everyone should follow the basketball model and every team should have 100 jerseys. You'd sell more. Why wouldn't you want to sell more jerseys? Whoa, look at this team moving the puck.
On the power play.
Sharp passing, tape to tape, 4 in a row. Oh dear. Right. He's back.
Set it up. I don't know if I've ever told you this story. I don't know if I should tell it during a Flyers power play. But
they are continuing to do a good job though of integrating Frost in at the bumper.
Oh!
Connecting his second opportunity.
Got a hole in his stick tonight.
Get in. God damn.
This has been a good power play.
The power play is fixed, Charlie. I'm telling you.
It's not fixed, but
it's looked good.
Yeah, but
it hasn't been an abject fucking disaster.
That doesn't mean it's fixed.
Getting set up.
That just means it's not an abject disaster.
Goal.
That's fixed for this team. Fixed. They're about to be the first team in NHL history to be the worst power play in the league 3 years in a row.
If this power play was mid, it would be. I
demand higher standards for my power plays that are above not an abject disaster. I don't know personally.
At this point, I can't ask for that's
But by accepting mere mediocrity, Bill, you are simply a shill for Comcast.
Boy. What else is new? Am I
on board with being a shill for Comcast the second they start paying.
I was going to say, I wish I was a shill for Comcast. Comcast, call me.
Just get cable or something. WWE's
they going to get a shot off before this period ends?
I love that.
Well, he did. At least Forster blasted it.
Oh, man.
That'll do it.
I'll tell you what. Solid first period.
It wasn't bad. I expected significantly worse.
It. I'm going to say even.
Power play was good.
Pizza's going to be here in 3 minutes. I'm going to get going downstairs. I'll be back in a few, guys.
Thank you very much, Bill. Me and Kelly can catch up.
I can tell Charlie all about Pearl Jam night.
I mean, I was there. I was in the building.
You
didn't hear a lot of Pearl Jam.
Again with this. No, No Pearl Jam on Pearl Jam night.
I heard the cover band when I was going into the arena playing Pearl Jam.
Rock.
What are they? Something Ledbetter?
The Ledbetters.
The Ledbetters?
I'm like a fan.
Okay.
Of a cover band. You know what's good about them, Charlie? You know how sometimes a cover band does like a weird thing where they're like imitating Led Zeppelin? Like they all dress like them. They try to look like them. Like they go like too far. This was just a band playing Pearl Jam songs.
Okay. Just like normal looking dudes?
Yeah. Like the singer wasn't trying to do an Eddie Vedder impression. Like there wasn't anything weird about it. It was just a bunch of dudes that like Pearl Jam playing Pearl Jam songs.
That's cool.
Yeah. And they were like good. So it was very enjoyable.
Okay. Okay. And I mean, they have so many hits, they could have just run through the entire catalog.
They have a lot of songs.
Was the shirt at least good?
The shirt was better than last year.
Okay.
It's a good shirt.
Okay.
Yeah. Really good shirt.
Good stuff.
It's got gritty jumping.
So what are we giving Pearl Jam night? Out of 10, what are we ranking it?
I'm going to give it a 6.
6 out of 10?
They don't know how to carry a theme through. There should be the theme should just continue through the whole night.
Gotcha.
Like if we did 2010s night, I would expect them to play 2010s music.
I would.
At every stoppage, right?
I would. I mean, when I went down to Florida and they had 2000s night, every single song in the stoppage was, and they had a good mix. It was like, they obviously had like pop, punk, and emo, but they also had like Eminem.
Right.
Like 2000s Eminem songs and like Jay-Z songs from the 2000s. Like they went all in on the theme. I respect that.
They didn't have to only play Pearl Jam. Like that's probably a bridge too far, but like pepper some in.
Yeah.
Also, I'm sure that your listeners are tired of me talking on the post game. I talked about this for about 20 minutes.
Okay, well let's talk about the period.
Let's talk about the Flyers.
So the Flyers and Bruins are tied 1-1 after 20 minutes of play. I think all of us probably expected this to be significantly worse.
Yes.
So the fact the Flyers are still tied with the Bruins and led a lot of this period seems like a good sign. What are your thoughts?
So like not only is the score tied, I feel like the play was relatively even. Like the Bruins did not in any way dominate the Flyers in that period.
So looking at the numbers, and I have the 5-on-5 data in front of me from Natural Stat Trick. Definitely go to that site. It's a really good site. It's my go-to for in-game stats. It's just the easiest in terms of them updating quickly and whatnot. Really good site if you're into stats. But the numbers from the first period, shot attempts basically even. Flyers had 11, Bruins had 12. Interestingly enough, though, expected goals, the Flyers ahead by a lot. They had the Flyers had 0.67 expected goals at 5-on-5. The Bruins 0.26. So Flyers at 72% expected goal share in the first period of 5-on-5. Now we expand that to power play, and Flyers still up. So hey,
so that's one of those things.
Solid
Charlie,
first period.
Just for people like me who maybe aren't stats inclined, expected goals. That number means that more of the Flyers' shots should have been goals.
Yes.
Than Bruin shots, meaning they were more dangerous shots from dangerous areas.
So look at it this way. When I say that the Flyers in this period have 0.67 expected goals and they have 11 shot attempts or whatever, if the Flyers get an attempt, because expected goals actually only counts shots on goal and missed shots, it doesn't count block shots. When the Flyers get an unblocked shot attempt, so a shot on goal or a missed shot, expected goals gives that a number value. And the number value is equivalent to what percentage likelihood that shot had of going in the net.
Right.
So if the Flyers take a shot from the low slot, expected goals may deem that shot having a 10% likelihood that becomes a goal. That is 0.10 expected goals. And then at the end of the period or the end of the game, you add up all of those values of the individual attempts, and that's how you get expected goals. So really, when I say the Flyers have 0.67 expected goals, that means that essentially you're adding up like, okay, this was a 3% likelihood goal. This was a 20% likelihood shot. This was a 10% likelihood shot. And it all adds up to 0.67.
And so it means that the Flyers were getting better chances than the Bruins.
Exactly.
For most of that period.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
And the shot at the scoring chance data on Natural Stat Trick backs that up. Flyers credited with 3 high danger chances. The Bruins credited with 1. However, the Bruins scored on one that they would not deem to be a high danger chance because it was a distant slap shot with no screen.
Right.
So you can score on non-high danger chances.
Of course.
As we all know as hockey fans. But it certainly helps if you're getting dangerous chances from in close.
more dangerous chances probably means more goals.
Generally speaking, that is the case, Kelly.
Yes. See, I know stats, Charles.
Kelly, you know a lot more about stats than I think you realize.
I'm not a stats person.
I'm not saying you're a stats person. I don't know if you would even want to be considered to be a stats person. You want to be a woman of all trades.
I would like to be a bit more well versed. I feel just to be able to use them with ease the way that you do. I would like to be a little bit.
I think you're underrating your knowledge of the numbers.
Probably.
I think you are.
Maybe.
But there's always room for people to learn more.
Of course. And that's what's fun about life.
Exactly. Yeah. We've still got a lot more years left on this globe. So we can get all weird with it.
Yeah. Learn how to do math. Why not?
So also, I don't know if we noted it from the start of this. I'm sure you guys did for the pregame, but our watch along sponsored by Coors Light. Yep. That's why I'm drinking a Coors Light. Also because I drove for 4 hours today. And
Charlie
I would like to unwind a little bit. Really could use some chilling.
He's got to
chill.
chill.
If you're going to chill, I mean, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but these mountains, they're blue. We've reached peak chill. So just getting some chilling, you know?
I'm participating in the chat as well.
Oh, there's a chat.
Yeah.
Love that. I am not going to participate in the chat because I do not want to get thrown off while I am talking about the hockey. So going more in depth about the first period so far.
Let's keep talking about it. So Felix Sandstrom.
Impressed with Felix Sandstrom.
I am impressed.
Would have liked to have seen him stop that shot. But again, it wasn't a weak goal. It was a really good slap shot. You just would like to see your goalie make that save.
You would like to see him stop it, but he did make some saves.
He made some really good saves.
That one in particular where he got across the crease was very
post to
nice.
post.
Yeah.
He's got the athleticism to make those saves. He made it. And there were a couple others too that I thought that Sandstrom certainly, let me put it this way. The bad version of Sam Ersson would have allowed a goal on a couple
100%.
of those. So
the Ersson that we got in that Toronto game, it would be 3-0 right now.
Yeah.
Well, 3-1, I guess.
Yeah.
But and that's probably why Bill and I kind of talked about how with Ersson, it's either he's on or he's off.
And you know pretty quick.
If he's off. And these last few games, you've seen pretty quickly that he's just not.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it.
Well, I mean, he's played in 4 games over this last run. He was great against Florida. He was bad against Tampa. He was legitimately good against San Jose, and then he was bad against Toronto. So you're just having it's one good, one bad. That's the run he's on right now.
I look back at that San Jose game and I'm like, was he actually really good, or was it just that he played competently against a team that's not that good?
I think that's probably part of it.
Yeah.
However, I do think he made some really big, timely saves.
Okay.
The big save I'm thinking of was early in the third period. It's 2-2. I believe it was Barbanov had a breakaway, and Ersson shuts the door with a really good pad save. And then a minute later, the Flyers get that game-winning goal.
Yeah.
And that's one of those goals where you go back and you rewatch the game and you're like, that was a turning point. Because, if San Jose scores that goal, takes the lead, obviously then the rest of the period plays out differently. But also then the Flyers team start thinking, oh, geez, we're going to lose these freaking guys again. And then they start panicking. Instead, it's tied. Konechny has that great pass to tip it. The Flyers take the 3-2 lead, and then they could really just cruise the rest of the way because it's like, oh, yeah, this is the way it's supposed to go. We're supposed to beat the Sharks. We're better than them. Now we can just roll. And I thought they did for the rest of the game. So I thought Ersson, maybe he wasn't dominant. I thought he was really good against Florida.
Yeah.
That was an actually great game by him. The San Jose game, I think it was less that he was great and more that he was great when he really needed to be.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. But I do kind of think it's probably for the best that even though logically this Boston game is a game that you want your starter in, not only because the Bruins kick your ass every single time, but also because the Flyers have to stop losing hockey games at some point. They got to cut it out.
Yeah.
Because the playoff race, even though the Islanders only got 1 point today.
Yeah, they lost in overtime.
Other teams are also kind of limping along. I don't want to see them counting on these other teams also shitting the bed to get them into the playoffs. I would like to see them take this into their own hands and just get into the playoffs and not just like end up in the playoffs because other teams were losing games too.
I would agree. What I will say though, and not to downplay the difficulty of this gauntlet they're on, because it is a rough part of the schedule. However, after the gauntlet, things ease up. Like,
yes,
they don't just ease up, they ease up dramatically. You get Montreal, who stinks. You get Chicago, who's like the worst team in the league. Then you get the Islanders, big game. Like that'll be a tough one. Possibly a battle for that third seed. Yeah, 4-point game. Buffalo was playing better. They lost today to the Red Wings. But then you get Columbus, Montreal again. Like, there's going to be a run where they have a bunch of games that they should really cruise to.
Yeah.
If they can just, all they need to do, they don't need to dominate this gauntlet. They just need to squeeze a couple wins out of this.
Yes.
So it's not like they're on a 6-7 game losing streak. If they can just steal a couple games. I mean, Scott Lawton said it. It was a really good quote. I want to get the exact quote.
Oh, the dirty one?
Because it was really good quote.
Because it's good.
This was after the Toronto game. We interviewed Scott Lawton in the locker room. Obviously, he was very frustrated with how the team played, justifiably so. But let me see what this quote exactly was.
Look who it is. The pizza boy is here.
Heyo. It was, we're going to have to play a simple, disgusting road game and squeak one out there. I've never quite heard disgusting used to describe how you have to play a road game, but it kind of works. It truly does work.
Yeah.
I will find us plates
or something.
Vince Pellegrini super chatted us.
Love some or somethings. Oh, I'm not in my I'm not in Slack, so that's why I didn't get it.
Mr. Pellegrini, your boss, asks Charlie, is Kolosov coming over this year or next?
I do not know. However, what I heard last month was that it really just comes down to whether Kolosov wants to come over.
Okay.
Because to be clear, he's coming over next season.
Yeah.
He's coming over this summer for development camp. He's coming over to work out, and he's going to be in North America next season. He just played a pretty long season in the KHL. They were always going to leave it up to him, where if he wants to get a jump start, because he's on loan, he's already under contract. If he wants to get a jump start on his North America, transition and maybe get in a couple Phantoms games, they're happy to do it. But they're not going to pressure him to do it. If he wants to just say, you know what, long year, I'm a little banged up, I'm exhausted, I want to clear my head to be fully ready for the summer, and then for next season, they're going to be totally fine with that. So I guess I understand why people are talking about it, because he is one of their top 10 prospects and he will be a factor next season. But I think people are maybe making too big of a thing out of Kolosov. Like, is he going to come over? When is he going to come over? Like, it's not like he's going to be the backup. It's not like they're going to bring him over and then he's going to jump Felix Sandstrom for the final, 10 games of the season. That was never an option. It's really just, is he going to get a few games with the Phantoms? If he does or he doesn't, I don't think it's going to make or break his next season.
I think it's just like that with this whole Carter Hart no longer being a thing on this team anymore. There is a giant question mark in net.
Yeah.
Because you don't know for sure that Ersson's going to be able to be the guy.
Yeah.
I think we don't know for sure. He's definitely not a sure thing like we thought Hart was. And Kolosov is a boat right now. He could be anything.
Yeah, he could even be a boat.
He could be a boat. You get to assign all of your hopes and dreams to him until he gets here and actually plays a hockey game.
And then you can start hating him.
And then we move on to Zvragin.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Exactly. But to answer Vince's question, I do not know, truthfully, if he's going to come over. But the last digging I did, which was when we did our prospect pieces and we did that week-long's worth of articles in our Die Hard, was that they are open to the possibility of him coming over, but they're not going to push it on him. If he wants to, he can. If he doesn't want to, that's fine.
Pizza?
Yeah. Yeah, the pizza made it. I was very happy with my ability to not drop anything but your soda on the way out.
I'll take it. Good enough.
If I had thought ahead, I would have filled that bucket that we always have here as a prop with cold beers. But I found another bucket and was able to fill that one. So we're good on that for now.
Love that.
I love that. I love when there's yeah.
Ooh, they're girly fries. Love that.
This is Del Rossi's on recommendation from Kelly Hinkle. Yeah. I forget you live here.
I know.
So,
I'm just a sloppy person generally. So,
have we talked about JVR at all?
Who? No.
James Van Riemsdyk. It's wild, the career and kind of the career resurgence after last year. Now he's played over 1,000 games. This dude, our consolation prize in 2007.
Our little pigeon.
This is the first year he's playing on a contract not signed by the Flyers, right? 1,000 games and 950 of them were under contracts he signed with the Flyers. Yeah.
Which is objectively hilarious.
We've traded him. Oh, no. We should have traded him twice. We were unable to trade him the second time. Turns out Luke Shen is the best thing you can get for JVR.
You got to get, if you have a chance to get Luke Shen,
you always
gotta
take
get him.
Yeah. He turned himself into a way better player than he turned himself into a way better player than he ever was here. He's got to be close because he's the draft before JVR. Shouldn't have my phone that. Yeah, shouldn't have my phone that close to the mic. I'm a professional. Yeah. Oh no, he was the 08 draft. He was the year after. So he's 34, and he has played 981 games.
Oh, you know what it was with Luke Shen? It was the fact that he got to the NHL.
Yes.
They rushed him.
He came right out.
Also, I guess I'm not talking into the mic, but sorry. I mean,
does Luke Shen play for Nashville? Someone's asking. I think does he? I can't remember where he is now.
I believe. Is
that where he is now?
Had his hockey reference opened.
Someone's asking.
Nashville, yeah. He's played 48 games for Nashville this year.
Good eye, Hunter Moyer. You nailed it.
Oh, yeah.
Good for old Luke.
It's a good idea. I should have the YouTube open so I can see the comments.
I got you, Bill. You missed a super chat from Vince while you were getting the pizza.
Good old Vince. Thanks for the pizza, Vince.
Thanks, Vince.
Bryn, feel free to come in and grab some.
Yeah, get some pizza.
I know we're just eating in front of you over here.
Was it you guys that we were discussing if Torts is the only coach who doesn't wear a suit? Was that at the takeover, maybe?
It's one of those questions where, it's a fascinating question that I truly don't care enough about to find out.
I don't care either. It's just a curious.
I hope that's true.
Mm-hmm. Wearing suits is stupid. They're a costume. I'm talking about everyone. No one should ever wear a suit unless you really want to, I guess. But.
No alarm clocks, no neckties. That's my life motto.
It's working for you.
I just you tie this thing of material around your neck and now suddenly you're a serious person.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Says who? The worst people, all of the worst decisions ever made in human history were made by people wearing suits.
Yeah.
Maybe not all, but a significant portion.
Every one of them. These garments make me smarter. You can trust me. It would be funny if they did baseball and made them wear the uniform. How goofy would Torts look?
I was just saying,
in pads.
If the options are suit or wearing the uniform. Well.
Come on, Coots. Oh, buddy.
I don't even know if that was Couturier's fault or if that was the guy who he dropped the pass off to.
I
Yeah.
don't think he was
He didn't seem to be ready for that
really,
drop pass.
yeah, prepared for that drop pass.
Well, it looks like they had Couturier out there with the fourth line that time
Mm-hmm.
with Atkinson and Deloriers. So maybe that was just a 1-period audition. See if he's ready, and now he's back to line 4.
Womp womp. Like, I understand that line of thinking, but also, like, now you're definitely not going to get him going. So, like, cool, you're punishing him. To what end?
Maybe they're going to bounce him around.
Yeah, maybe.
Perhaps.
None of these things are static.
I mean, even last game, he was technically on the fourth line, but he finished with like the 5th most or 6th most minutes on the forward core.
When do you think hockey will stop numbering lines like this? Because it seems like more and more.
I mean, they never will because fans will never stop numbering them. Like the Flyers really, to be totally honest with you, for the last couple of weeks, I don't think they've really had a fourth line.
No.
It's just that people like us call them a fourth line because if you're going to run lines in warm-ups, you functionally have to have
1,
an
2,
order.
3, 4, yeah.
So then, therefore, we're going to be, oh my God, it's the fourth line because we need something to talk about.
I always appreciate when you or someone tweets out the practice lines and you add, pay no attention to the order. Like, this is just how I saw them. Keep realizing I'm chewing into the mic. I'm like, I should push that away.
Hello. ASMR with PHLY Flyers.
Bryn's wearing headset. I bet that's real fun to listen to.
Those creepy Instagrams where people are just eating.
Is
Why?
that a thing?
Yes. And like always with the noise. And I'm like, why is this? Who watches this?
Really feel. $18. I'll take off the sock.
Perhaps.
There you go.
Another
Okay.
nice save by
All
Felix.
right.
He always, maybe it's just like him practicing his awareness. Whenever he makes a save, he looks around, and it makes me nervous that the puck is not
doesn't
where
know
I
where
think
it
it
is.
is.
Oh yeah,
But,
look
like-
at him. Because he's like,
23 minutes in, I don't think you could ask for much more
No.
in this game.
I don't think so. They're hanging in. That's all we wanted to see. Just a disgusting game.
Yeah, it's me eating pizza
yeah, this is just us
on
eating,
webcam.
Oh, wow.
couple of
making mouth
stops there.
noises.
Yeah, all right.
Someone got leveled.
I have a real irrational dislike of Charlie Coyle.
Really? Why?
I literally have no explanation for it.
Well, so there was this, and it's not someone that I like have an issue with, but there's that guy Mikey D on
Oh, yeah, he
social
was
media,
obsessed with-
and like I think it was like 3 years ago, he was obsessed with Charlie Coyle, and he would tweet about him constantly. And the big thing that I would get into debates with him on wasn't even that I was necessarily opposed to the idea of trading for Charlie Coyle. It was that Mikey wanted to trade a first-round pick for Charlie Coyle, and I was like, Mikey, Charlie Coyle is not that good. He's not worth a first-round pick. He's like a 2C if you need him to be a 2C. Ideally, he's a 3C. Now, Boston's going with the we don't need centers, whatever. I guess he's functionally a second-line center on this team because they have like great wings and a really good coach. But
And like the value of guys changes for where your team is.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tampa, yeah, we'll trade whatever for a dude we think we need because we just think we need him, and we're trying to win the Stanley Cup right now. It's like 3 years ago, I know we kind of thought the Flyers were going for it, but
well, about that.
yeah, things fell apart.
They tried.
They sure did. Did they?
No. Go.
I mean, that was a really, really tight window.
Yeah.
It was a 2-on-1, but just barely. They were racing to keep that a 2-on-1.
That's my problem with the goal in the first period. I hate when they get rewarded for passing.
Passing is good on a 2-on-1.
Rip it.
Nope. Passing is the higher percentage play.
Is that right?
Sure is.
Sometimes it really looks like they should shoot, though.
It's really difficult to beat a goalie clean when he's got the angle on a 2-on-1.
Fair.
I'd say it's equally as difficult
In
to
my
complete
opinion,
a pass where it needs to be, and then the guy beat the goal.
What I will say
you should
is
just
that
snipe a corner. Just do that.
the reason why it feels like that is because
we follow a bad
it's
passing team.
significant. Oh, boy.
Oh,
Nice
Hey!
save.
Wow.
Felix.
Yo, Felix. Oh, God.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
you really need to cancel. Like, that pisses me off when it's Mark Stahl. Like, cancel
That's
the dude
offside.
out. Be in front of him.
Yeah.
I'm real tired
No,
of...
the point I was going to make was
Sorry, Charlie.
it feels like passing on a 2-on-1 is dumb because if it's a mental thing. If the guy who has the puck takes a shot and it's stopped, your thought is, oh, well, that sucks. The goalie made the save. Whereas if the guy passes it and the pass is flubbed, they never get a shot off. It's, oh my God, he was such an idiot. Like, it's more memorable when they don't get a shot versus all the times they score because they passed on a 2-on-1.
Oh, I get it. I just think for this team in particular, shoot. Like, stringing passes together is difficult.
See, I disagree. I think for this team in particular, I want them to pass because there's like 2 guys on the team that can finish. So I'd rather give all the guys who aren't good finishers a better chance to shoot a puck in a wide open net than like depend upon guys to be goalies clean. Like the only guys who can are basically Konechny and Tippett.
Forster's getting there.
I mean, I think Forster will be there at some point. I don't think he's there
I
yet.
wouldn't say he's a premier fit. Like he's got 17 goals. That's nice. It's not 50.
He's got the quality of shot where at some point I think he will be able to consistently beat goalies clean. This year, not quite.
Feels like the ice is tilted a bit. I feel like it's more Boston chances now. Do not like. I know the shots say that there's more Flyer shots, but I don't believe those numbers.
They change.
They don't feel right to me.
I do like that they audit like every shot now because you can bet on shots on goal.
Yeah,
so,
it's very clearly the gambling.
No, they didn't give a shit before. Now people are bitching.
I was
Trust
going
me.
to say, like, I mean,
I've won and lost bets because of someone hitting a button or not.
Yeah, the way the NHL tracks shots is pretty wild. That it's just like a dude clicking the spot on the ice where the shot happened.
Yep, there's just a dude up in the press box.
Yep.
Yeah, like it's the exact same as I've done it for like, kids games and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like shot.
Yeah.
I hit the wrong one. Well, I'll catch up later.
I mean, I guess how else are you supposed to do it, really? I doubt there's any higher tech way to do it.
I think with player tracking, there has to be, but yeah.
Did he stop that or did he just miss?
I think he might have missed
JJ
it.
said he missed the target, I think.
Go!
Come on.
He's
Oh,
white.
that was nice to move, though.
He's at the end of
At
his
least
shift.
get it deep.
Get pucks deep.
Getting physical.
I mean, if you're Nick Delorier, like, what else are you here for? You might as well hit
You
the guy.
have one job.
Well, you have 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Be physical and fight.
Be physical and fight.
Yeah, for the 6 teams in the
1A,
league that
1B.
have someone willing to fight you.
Is that Cars music? We are 7 floors up.
There might be.
My biggest boomer.
I saw some punk-looking kids. They thought there was a show here, but it's like at that club around the corner.
Oh.
I think it's a band. Punk-looking kids, like not the dudes I went to high school with.
What, a union transfer?
Not union transfer. There's like a comedy club or something around the corner from us.
Oh.
And I think they have music there as well.
Okay.
Are you?
Or just a car blasting.
Oh, wait.
In the
Do you
parking
mean
lot.
the brewery? The brewery
City?
right Love
Across
City?
the street from Love City? I think.
Oh, interesting. Did not realize there was a comedy club there.
Me neither.
I mean, I've been to Love City. Love City's cool.
When I was flipping out about, I don't even remember what the bands were, and them taking all of our spots, I actually think it's the comedy club. And so I was unfairly critical of the union transfer and whatever that show was that night that pissed me off so bad. Pushing back a little here. There you go. Oh. No call.
A classic JJ
I
no call.
love JJ.
I love JJ.
Love
He's
a
the
no call.
absolute best in the business.
They say it's onside.
I know, it's my favorite that they say is the best. JJ
Like if he says it about the Flyers, I'm always like,
here we go.
well, hopefully
Here's the
they don't
chaos.
score. Because it's getting taken away. I love it. Yeah, rip his helmet off.
Yeah. Make pigeon noises at him. Oh. This is a good game. I'm into it. Charlie, we got you a delicious cheese pizza.
Yeah, I know, but the pepperoni is actually good. I take it.
All right. Do you think Felix could play himself into maybe he can be the backup next year sort of role? Or do you think it's in my mind it's going to be Airson and probably a Jake Allen type next year? Do you think there's a possibility Felix could nah, I'm still here?
I think he'd have to be real good down the stretch. I'm not even sure he's going to have enough opportunities.
He could earn them tonight, I guess.
I think he could play himself into staying in the mix.
All right.
But I do not think that I don't think there's a scenario where he plays so well, unless they get to the playoffs and Airson gets hurt and Felix Sandstrom carries the Flyers to a playoff series win. I don't think there's a scenario where the Flyers would say, yes, we are comfortable going with Felix Sandstrom as our, no doubt about it, backup goalie to Sam Airson next year.
Okay.
I could see them being he is now our number 3. And he's right there if the backup goalie falters or if somebody gets hurt, which they always do.
They always do.
But no, I do not think there's a scenario where Felix Sandstrom is the presumptive number 2 starting next season. I just can't see that. I mean, he wasn't even the first choice to be the backup in this situation. They called up Cal Peterson.
first.
He's here because Cal failed. Oh. TK get roughed up a little there?
I think he took an elbow to the face.
Yeah. Are we calling this or?
I believe so.
Hey, stop play right away.
Jake DeBrusque. God.
There's absolutely no reason Boston doesn't get called for a second penalty here. Like, they're trying to goad the Flyers into one, and they didn't bite. Like, you did something else illegal.
Yeah.
You just punched Travis Sanheim.
I do absolutely want to.
shaken
That was McAvoy too. I do want to see in this game at least once Konechny and Marchand like jawing at each other, so we can do the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah. I was just gonna say, like, that's them.
Yeah, the same person.
I wish TK was a little dirtier. Just like be a little more marshy.
His skills are verbal. That's how he gets you.
Just a little bit more of that Danny Briere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cup check time.
It is fair though that like as annoying because I was on Sportsnet before the like the radio show.
Ooh.
I knew you were gonna say that. Like
Charlie, I'm just fucking with you.
10 years, Charlie.
I think it's
know.
cool as hell that you do this stuff.
But
It's like my job to make fun
I
of you.
know. No, it was like Justin Bourne's show, and they had me on before
I
the,
like that
the
guy.
Toronto Flyers game, and they were talking about Konechny, about how like he is. I guess I didn't even really notice this, but apparently they remembered it. That the last time these two teams have played before Thursday, Konechny apparently really pissed off Austin Matthews.
Oh, really?
And apparently, like, the Toronto media remembered it because they asked me about it. And I was just like, look, that's just Konechny being Konechny. Like,
Yeah.
he's just annoying. But it's a reasonable point that as annoying as he is, and he wants to be, it's part of his game, he really isn't dirty.
Yeah.
You rarely see him do a play where you're like, man, that was like a borderline, like, vicious or whatever play in the game. He will absolutely get some shots in after the whistle, to be sure. But in play, you really never see him like do any like a spear, like doing some Danny shit.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that. It's not really part of his game.
And like Marchand, like he's annoying, but he's a rat out there. Like, yeah man, don't turn your back. Like I'm not pulling up. And that's just like TK uses his like speed in a physical way, but like doesn't do that stuff.
Well, regardless, the Flyers will be getting a power play out of this.
Yeah.
They aren't getting a 2-man advantage, but they were getting that elbowing penalty.
Power play. Yeah.
So we'll see if they can build off their last power play, which I thought was good. They didn't score.
No, it looked
but
good.
They did stuff.
They got shots.
Sure
Several.
did.
It's a Coors Light power play. I think we're getting
I do
Lou.
not want this power play to chill.
Yeah. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
That was a mistake. Somehow has his own rebound.
Yeah, Marchand still got
Double
the
the puck.
Could someone take the... Thank you. Okay.
Oh, look at that. A hit.
There it is.
You have numbers now. I mean, it's...
Oh.
that hit.
Oh.
Nice keep.
That was very nice.
Very nice, yeah.
Get it.
All right. Ugh.
Self-clear.
Like Tippett's been out there forever.
I think he changed quickly. So it looked like he was on 2.
Okay.
But he really just was like the first
He
guy.
jumped out.
Yeah. Because this is the full unit, I believe.
Oh.
Kept it in.
Put it in the right spot, man. Hey!
Fucking right.
I think Joel got a
got a
piece of
stick
that.
on that?
Yeah, I think Joel got a
he
piece
did.
of it. He was
All
celebrating
right.
as if he
yeah,
did.
Yeah. All right. Joel Farabee.
Yes.
About time, my friend.
A Joel.
Gotta love a Joel.
As much as I hated Philly Joel, for some reason, the Joel, the Joal, brings me a lot of joy.
It's
I
a
can't
great
explain
bit.
it.
It's
Yeah.
a really good online bit to call it a Joel every time he scores a goal.
Nice.
Yeah, he definitely redirected it.
Nice.
Was that Frost though?
No, it was Farabee.
Yeah, it was
Farabee, definitely.
All right. Look at them.
What I love about Joel Farabee, one of like the low key things I get the biggest kick out of is the fact that there is no player I have ever covered who celebrates goals scored in practice more than Joel Farabee does.
Hey man, practice like a play.
It's like he just scored a game-winning goal in a playoff game.
I love that.
He's like jumping into the boards, like doing like practicing out celebrations. It's just what he does. Like part of his bit is when he scores a goal in practice, it's like the biggest thing ever.
That's fun.
The goalies have to start giving it back to him then. Like, you love him. You better start yelling at him like Marc-Andre Fleury.
Maybe I'll go to a practice next time I'm working from home.
You could. They're open to the public.
Yeah.
I know the turnout used to be pretty good. Does like anyone go to the practices anymore?
I would say there's usually, for like a normal practice, I would say there's usually somewhere between like 5 and 20,
All right.
depending on the day. Somewhere in that range. It's not like it's ever packed. Like it is packed for training camp, especially on the weekends, and it's packed usually for the first day of development camp and then the day where they do the like 3-on-3 scrimmages or whatever.
Yeah, 3-on-3 was always fun.
Yeah, those are packed. But practices, there's always a few people, and I get DMs from people sometimes that are just like, "Hey, are the Flyers practicing today? I want to take my kid. Like he's off today or whatever." So
legitimately, like a nice thing to watch. I don't know. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be cool, especially for kids.
For kids, it's
because you can't make it to a game.
Yeah, like if you're
right there.
If your family can't afford how ridiculous ticket prices are, but they want to see their heroes up close, it's the perfect time.
Poor kids growing up with these as their heroes. My God, we had Lindros and LeClaire, Ron Hextall. These kids.
No,
Heath Jones.
Ron Hextall is a hero.
He was back then.
Okay, back then.
Yeah,
not now.
I loved Ron Hextall. I didn't know any better.
I don't
know. The fighting goalie.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't want to sully his whole reputation.
If the Penguins totally fall apart, do we kind of accept him back a little?
Maybe he did it on purpose.
Yeah, like that's a little redemption. If you ruin the Penguins, like you ruined the last couple of years of Crosby's career.
Oh, that's interesting. So Lawton is now, since they've started tracking hits, he is now the franchise leader in hits.
That's hilarious.
Because they did. I mean, obviously, it would be like one of the bullies if they actually tracked it in the 70s and 80s, but like they didn't. So Scott Lawton leads the team in hits. That's team history.
Incredible.
He's got 2 more than the Wayne train now.
You know what would be cool as fuck the NHL to do? Hire a bunch of, like, I don't know, college kids or whatever, to like watch every single game
it'd be cool
in NHL history and track them.
Well, one thing that's really annoying, so they used to, when I first started getting into stats, they used to have this thing on NHL.com called NHL Vault, and you could go back and you could watch old games, and it went back really, really far.
Yeah.
And I remember being really annoyed because they got rid of it during one of the integrations when like they moved over, I think, to NHL TV, I think is when they got rid of it. And now that they've moved to ESPN, it's like completely gone. Yeah. But they still have all the tape somewhere. Like it's saved somewhere in the NHL basements or whatever.
Do you think they do?
But
if any league would lose them.
But I specifically asked what I wanted to do when it was when Lindros got in the Hall of Fame. And when there was all the pageantry for the Flyers and doing all the things for Lindros, I wanted to go back and track a few Lindros games.
That would have been so
and like
neat.
just to see like by the numbers, like how ridiculous
Is he the most
was.
physically dominant?
Yeah,
like,
and I requested it from the NHL, and they're like, "No, we're not giving it to you." It's like
they're
why?
so fucking weird.
Like, why?
What are you doing with it?
Like,
It's
just
good for you.
like
to
just
let
give me the
people see
tape, man.
these
What do you think I'm going to
things.
do with it?
God,
That's
they're
so
weird.
NHL.
It really is.
Like even like if the NFL said no, I'd be like, oh, they're probably going to do something with it because NFL Films is
not going to do anything
NFL
with
Films is awesome. They're going to make their own thing. The NHL ain't going to do shit with it.
No,
they're gonna they don't want to. They're too embarrassed to tell you they threw it away, Charlie.
But it's even beyond that. Like, it was all on NHL Vault, which means that at some point
it got digitized.
They did digitize it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as if it's just all on old VHSs. Like, they did digitize this shit.
I remember I went back.
You have it somewhere. Why not share it with the people?
At one point, I watched like some random like Bullies era games. And not just the ones on the DVD.
Yeah, like, what the hell, right?
That came out like, what, 20 years ago at this point?
And I get that you might not have every single game. Like, there might be some that just are lost to the ether.
Yeah.
But you definitely have some.
Yeah, like, this team played on UPN at some points, I'm sure not everyone.
Prism, baby.
Prism.
Yeah, Prism.
I remember my childhood best friend, Amber Rendina. Shout out Amber Rendina. She had Prism at her house. We absolutely the fuck did not
we didn't have
the
Prism
pay
either.
channel. So every now and
got
again,
it.
I would get to go to her house and I would be like, could we put the Flyers on?
Aw. Young Kelly was still trying to find ways. That was the early way of finding streams online.
Yeah, right.
Made a
this
friend
day,
with Prism.
Kelly is-
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah. We brought Prism to the hangout the other day.
Yeah, my family never had Prism.
No.
And actually, like, me getting into hockey was very much in line. It was correlated right with when Comcast Sportsnet started showing games. Because my mom grew up a Flyers fan, and then she sort of lost it
When they started
showing them on Prism because, like, she didn't pay for cable. Like, she had basic, but Prism was in like the extra tier, and they were never going to pay for it. But then when the game started being on Comcast again, then it was like, okay, well, now it's on basic cable. Now we can watch all the Flyers games if we want.
Remember the Outdoor Life Network?
Oh,
was
well
a dark
done,
time.
OLN, right out
That was a
right out
real
of the
dark
lockout.
time.
Yeah, thank God.
But
man.
it would be like alligator fishing and then a Flyers game.
Well, you'll still if you like the only times I remember that OLN was a thing is if I go back to watch like early Alex Ovechkin goals, and you can see like OLN in the corner.
Because it changed to like versus in like a year or two.
It changed pretty quick.
It was like the second or third year.
Yeah.
It became verse, and it was like the only thing you have though is hockey. Like it's still alligator wrestling
And alligator wrestling and fishing. Catfish noodling.
Amazing.
Yeah, but they got their cost certainty. Yeah, they got their salary cap. Thank goodness.
Been great for everyone. And by that I mean just the owners.
It's been awesome for look at them, man. They're gonna add 2 more teams. We're gonna have Salt Lake and we're gonna have Atlanta like real soon.
Let Gary Bettman ruin the entire league, and then he will
I'm
leave.
for it. I want there to be like 34, 36 teams. I don't think it's a coincidence that suddenly we're getting dudes putting up 150 points. I think they've watered it down enough.
Run out of good hockey players.
They're watering it down enough that the stars stand out. Great teams win the cup now these days. Like 8 seeds don't win anymore. Like I think that's pretty cool.
Nah, dude, 8 seeds winning was fun. It's fun when that happens.
It's cool when they make a run, and if it's your team,
like basketball where you know who's going to win the whole
but
time.
I want to see I think we were robbed of the possibility of seeing a Crosby versus the Blackhawks final. I know that's, I'm a Flyers fan. I shouldn't say such a thing. But the guy against the team would have been the shit.
Well, I don't think we were robbed of a.
I just mean
I don't think we were robbed of a Crosby against the Black. If we were robbed of anything, we were robbed of Alex Ovechkin having with peak Capitals against the Blackhawks. That might have been like the highest scoring series in NHL history, including the 80s. Like having that Capitals team that was just all offense, no defense against like the Blackhawks team that broke salary cap rules.
Yeah. I would just prefer when we get to the Cup final, it's a great team.
Yeah, but that's basketball.
Yeah. Basketball makes a lot of money.
I know, but is it as fun?
Not if you're a fan of any of the other 28 teams.
Right, exactly. Unless it's one of your team is one of the 2 that's.
But I want everyone to strive for greatness. I think every team should try to beat Tampa or Vegas. And when the playoffs start, our number, if there was a cap, is 120.
Yeah.
They want to be great. Come on, Ed Snyder, he would do that.
Ed Snyder was not a cap. He would not have thrived.
It's not like he won without it either.
He did a couple times.
Yeah. There were 12 teams. Ah, shit.
Oh, dear.
Oh, boy.
That was a slam dunk.
Ooh.
All right. That was a hell of a pass by Marchand.
that was-
Yeah.
I mean, he's a really good player.
great
As annoying
move.
as he is, he's a really good player.
You sometimes forget that he
It's
is
so
like
fucking annoying that he's good.
amazing.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to be like this, dude. You're really good.
He does a lot less dumb shit now. Look at this. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark Stahl. Yep, he was tripped by his own guy's stick
Will we be free of the Mark Stahl?
at the end of the season. I wonder if he's going to retire or if he's going to keep playing.
Why must we look at him now?
They're out of guys.
Yeah, like who are they going to play? Adam Jennings?
11, I don't know. Go 13, 5.
Yeah, they did that.
We did see that one night, and that went real well.
I like your idea of putting the Delorier back there.
What's the difference?
He's played defense before. He came
was
up as a
drafted as a
defenseman.
defenseman.
Yeah, he came up as a defenseman. I mean, they tried turning Sam Moran into a forward.
Yeah, go
That
the
was a
other way.
thing.
Oh, that was a great time.
They
Mark
announced
Friedman.
that. I will never forget. They announced that change on New Year's Eve. They were like, "Yeah, we're doing this."
Oh, I just wish
Because
that
it was New Year's Eve, like leading into the shortened season.
yeah.
And it was just like why? It's like
Why is this word an announcement?
It's like announcing the captaincy on Valentine's Day. Like, did you have to do it today?
Everything they do is to piss you off,
Yes,
Charlie.
it is.
It's to make Charlie work.
Charlie with the girlfriend humble brag. Oh, I was busy.
I didn't specify that. You're the one who said that.
I was real happy. I didn't even see what was going on because it was a Wednesday and Ava had Quizzo. I just was hanging out at the bar with her. And I just opened my text and I have all these messages. And it's like, Charlie, like, no, I'm not doing an emergency show on Valentine's Day for this.
It's not happening.
Oh, good. Charlie gets to be the bad guy here. I'm like, yeah, well, whatever he wants. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not coming. I'm not going to be there.
You guys should do a wife show. Bring Dr. Jill and Ava in.
I think that could
Let
be
them share their thoughts about the Flyers.
that could be a conflict of interest for my wife.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. She is
quite sure.
employed by
Obligations.
Not quite sure that's allowed.
an
Yeah,
entity
fair
that
enough,
like
fair enough.
could be viewed as a competitor.
So
Fair.
I was like, oh, you should come do our like we're doing this watch party. She's like, no.
No, I
I was
can't.
like, oh yeah. All right. I don't know where Frankie is. He was supposed to be here. He's lost.
Busy man.
Yeah. He's in Times Square with Charlie.
And maybe he was.
He's on the Manifest airplane.
I was like, you're a diehard. Come on by. He's like, yeah,
Ooh, is that Delorier?
I'll probably do
He's
that.
hurting.
Ugh, got him right in the face.
I don't think it got him in the face. He
No?
looks like, I mean, it looks like he's in actual pain, not just like holding his face because he got cut or bleeding. It looked like he might have took that somewhere else.
Balls?
I mean, that was my first thought. Either that or like stomach,
Yeah.
get him in the belly.
Good God. I don't know why I'm feeling distinctly less good about this game in the last 5 minutes.
It's just like they had to keep them at bay. If it's going to
Yeah.
be even, that means it's just going to take a few Boston shifts.
But even this game, like if they get a point, that's fine.
Oh my
No,
God.
that's good.
That's
real
a
good.
win.
Yeah, I
I
thought
will
they were going
take
to
that.
lose 6-0. Like this game is basically this season. Like, oh yeah, it's way better than I expected.
Yeah.
Like,
Go, go, go.
lots. Oh, let's eat it up. I love a good just like stationary wind up slap
Ooh.
shot.
Oh.
Like I'm gonna pump this fucking thing.
I mean, look, anyone who has played hockey knows how friggin' satisfying it is to just
when you
like
connect.
wind up and bomb a shot. Like that is fun, man. It's so satisfying.
I've never taken a shop slot in my life. Shop slot?
Shap
Is
slot.
what I said just now?
Shap slot. You're the only one not drinking beer.
That's not a word at all.
You're drinking Diet Coke.
And thank you to our friends. They're bringing this to you tonight. The reason we are all here for this watch party, it is ice cold Coors Light.
Thank you, Coors.
I'm going to have another one.
Oh, yeah. That looks like it hit him in the knee.
Our pals in the chat are saying upper thigh.
Yeah.
That sounds like balls to me.
Nipples to knees. It's pretty much
pubic plate.
Oh, he isn't hurting.
Detached pubic plate.
that just detached. That's what it was.
Dick fell off.
Yeah, that's forever.
Yeah.
That would be like, there are certain athletes I just want to ask like one or two questions, like specific things. Like I would ask Mark, like we all say your dick fell off.
Yeah. Did your dick literally fall
Like,
off of your body?
Do you know this is what we say about you?
Did it come off? Just tell us.
Charlie's like, man, I talk to these guys all the time, and what they don't want to do is answer your bullshit.
Please stop talking about players' dicks while I'm in the room. I want a tippet goal to happen. Give me a tippet goal. He's been not very noticeable this entire game, actually.
Who's that?
I think about it. Tip.
He had a couple of power play chances, but
no, he hasn't done a lot.
I bought a jersey, so I'm very invested.
Oh, you bought an Owen Tippett jersey?
I did.
You got it at the takeover on Thursday.
I sure did.
That was a shirt night for you.
I had so many shirts on.
You kept putting them on over.
I didn't want to lose them.
No, that makes sense.
So I put the Pearl Jam shirt on, and then I put my jersey back on, and then I bought the Tippett jersey, and I was like, well, if I don't put this on, I'm going to lose it. So it had to go on, too.
Oh,
come on.
Oh, man, that would have been nice.
Would have been so nice.
He's still trying.
This is a hell of a shift.
Yeah, he's keeping the puck
Seriously.
alive. Good work by Morgan there.
Oh. Frost is like, Dad's back. I can't fuck around.
Yeah, gotta
Must
hustle.
Yeah.
Sacrifice my entire body.
You always get that jersey dirty. I realize it's ice, not dirt.
It still works.
Yeah.
It's slushy.
Yeah, it's probably got like spit on it. I wouldn't want it on me.
Charlie and I are going to be dunked in Zamboni water tomorrow again. It's going to be a great time.
I need Gritty to junk Charlie again.
I mean, if Gritty wants to, certainly can, but I feel like that's something that only had to happen once.
It was beautiful.
We need to do it so we can film it for this and get the YouTube hits.
If I hang around until 2, I'm going to try to dunk both of you. I don't have a lot of accuracy with the arm. I'm going to be honest.
The time has been moved. We're going to be there around 2. Charlie and I are going to be there kind of alternating. We're going to share a tie. It's going to be interesting. So if you want to dunk me or Charlie, make sure you come to the carnival tomorrow.
Carnival.
And we're going to have some good content, too. We have some interviews lined up. It's going to be a good time.
He still, like, kind of got a shot off in that play. Morgan did.
Yeah. If you're at the carnival, be sure to come by and say hello to Bill and Charles.
Yep.
You're coming, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kelly.
Oh, I don't go here. I'm just hanging out for funsies.
You go here.
Oh, wow. All right.
You know what? Not losing. I will continue to take it.
Win a period, win a game.
Exactly.
It's about as much as we could have hoped for.
Honestly, this
as
is
well as it possibly could have gone.
So much better than I think anyone thought this game was going to go. Is Charlie Coyle trying to kiss him? That looks like an embrace.
Marchand's out there, so you never know what's about to happen.
Someone could be licking.
Yeah, that was an unnecessary hit. It wasn't dirty. It was just like, it's the end of the period. You didn't even have to do that.
Nah.
I'm for it.
I'm all right with it.
I'd throw that hit. Fuck them.
Oh, we have an intermission question.
Intermission question. Let's hear it.
Mikey Mitz in the chat. Any top Flyers Carnival memories?
See,
when you went as a fan, did you ever go as a fan?
I never went to the carnival as a fan. Never went.
I did. I've done a couple of the Phillies ones. I think someone brought me to like the Eagles thing once. The only carnivals I've been to are the ones we've all done together.
Yeah.
Well, I can say in the olden days, and by that I mean like the late 90s, early 2000s.
When it was still the Flyers' wives.
When it was still the Flyers' wives fight for lives, which P.S. I'm still
That's
calling
still
it that.
what I call it. I know I have to call it the
Wives Fight for
Flyers
Lives.
Charities
Yeah.
Carnival now because that's like the official name. But yeah, in my head, it's the Flyers Wives Fight for Lives.
So when the Phantoms were here, the Phantoms played like a very big role in the carnival in that not only were they there like signing autographs, they were also like running games.
Took the tickets
and like so like you would go to like play some stupid game like throwing darts at balloons or whatever, and it would be like one of the Phantoms is like the guy running the game, like the carny. And also the players used to be way more like a part of it and accessible. Now they're kind of just like they're like in a section and you're like in a line and you just like go past them and get a signature. It used to be more of like more access, I would say, to the players than there is now. So it was like a little bit more interesting. And they used to have more stuff. Like they would have like along the concourse in like the concession areas, they would have carnival games. And then they used to have a thing on the floor where you could buy like a mystery box. Do they still do the mystery box?
Is it a boat?
It could be a boat. That's the thing. It was like, I think it was like $20, which like at the time was a lot of money. But like you could get anything there. Yeah. Like you could get tickets, you could get a jersey. It was usually, like a signed puck or whatever. Towel. But like, yeah, it used to be like a lot. It used to make the players a lot more accessible. So it was a little bit more fun. But it's still, someone asked if they've never been, is it worth going? And I think it's definitely worth going. It is a lot of fun. The charities thing, it's a great cause. Yeah. The Flyers charities do great work. So it's cool to support them. But it is just a lot of fun because like if you have an Owen Tippett jersey that you want to get signed, you can get your jersey signed. That's pretty neat. You can dunk people. You can take a shot on one of the goalies usually. I don't know who will be down there, but usually you can take a shot on a goalie. Like there's just
I don't know if they should let Sam Ersson do that. He's already
can we call Cal Peterson on?
Yeah, let Cal Peterson do it. Because usually you just let the kids win anyway. So just Cal Peterson could try to make stops and he'll still be letting the goals in. So
jeez. These guys. I'm gonna know, Charlie, when they're gonna get a commercial with our voices. You know, like they're using Elliot Friedman and that's all well and good, but like, you know, aren't we the most famous Flyers people?
Elliot Friedman's voice gets on my nerves.
So, Hinkle, what haven't we talked about?
Oh, yeah, we're still...
yeah, we're live. Yeah, they're at intermission, but we're
guys.
still live. Yeah.
So, okay. I have a question, because last year was your first year in the dunk tank, right?
Yes.
Was it, like, were you scared? I feel like I would have been scared.
No, because, I mean, like, it's just weird. Like, you don't know what it's going to, like, what the drop is going to feel like.
Yeah.
Like, what is actually going to happen here. But it's, like, basically like a diving board on a hinge. And it's just like, like, and just, you fall right in. And the water, like, I kept being like, it was so warm. Now, had I known ahead of time, because last year the carnival was the day of the whatever, the chemical spill or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And so they were like, oh yeah, all the water's tainted, don't drink water. And I was like, well, I just got dunked in it like 25 times. But apparently they had filled it up well before that. And it was hot Zamboni water, I guess. But that was when I realized it was warm and not freezing cold. Because I always thought that was kind of the point.
I thought it would have been cold too.
Like, I was like, oh my God, they're like, did you want it to be cold? It's like, oh no, I didn't at all.
No, but I would have expected cold.
I expected to be freezing cold. No, it was like oddly warm.
So let's see. CMZ wants us to talk about Cam Atkinson getting power play minutes. He's towards his boy. They're trying to get him going.
Here's the thing. Nobody deserves power. Like, yes, it's asinine that the guy with no points in 2 months is on the power play. That's ridiculous. He's also like got as many power play points this season as Travis Konechny.
Does he actually?
Maybe TK has added 1 or 2 in the last few games, but like I think they both have 6 or 7.
Also, like, I mean, if you're gonna have him in the lineup, like
try to get something out of him. He has
he has skills.
He's like top 5 on the team in goals still.
Is he actually?
I got to look this up now. I'm just saying numbers and I don't have them in front of me.
I mean, if you say them out loud, they're true.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I know. I think Forster has finally caught and passed him. But, like, he had a ton of goals all right away. He scored a bunch as I'm vamping to get the hockey reference. Flyers. Let's see here. Goals. TK has 27, Tippett 24. Farabee, I guess, is at 20 now. Forster 17, Atkinson 13. So
remarkable.
He's fifth on the team in goals. That's
incredible.
Like I
don't know what is worse about that.
Like Couerier has 11, Frost 10. Like you guys, you should be embarrassed with your goal totals. Cam Atkinson has had two different like slumps that were unbelievable this season. He went, let's see here. Because he started the year real well. So he had 8 goals in the first 15 games. And from game 16 to 41, he scored none. 26 games he went, no goals, 6 assists.
Not great.
And then he had another little hot streak where he went, let's see here. He got 2 against Winnipeg, got the monkey off his back. And then
the monkey climbed right back off.
He had 5 goals and 5 assists in 6 games. It's like, okay, he's back.
Yeah.
And he has not registered a point since then.
They do be streaky.
It's unbelievable. Like, he's 5th on the team in goals, and he has had 2 separate months-long streaks of not scoring.
Why is no one scoring goals on this team?
Like Sean Couturier and Morgan Frost here, they really should be embarrassed with their totals, honestly.
What's Morgan Frost got?
Coots has 11 and Frost has 10. Now, Frost has played 56 games. Let's see. Where'd it go here? Yeah. Frost has played 56, Coots 63, Atkinson 62. Lawton 10. No, Cam York has 9. It's just very funny to me. Effing Charlie Coyle. This guy.
I just don't like it.
I'm glad Charlie reminded me, because it was like, I guess there was constant conversation about Charlie Coyle becoming a Flyer.
We are terminally online.
That's what led to
ruined so many
our
things.
dislike of Charlie Coyle. Just having
being terminally
people
online.
saying that he was going to be a Flyer.
If we logged off for even one moment, I will never log off.
Well, the whole reason why I hate Cal Pickard is because for a year and a half leading up to when the Flyers finally got Cal Pickard, there were like 2 or 3 people that every time the goalie position came up, in my mentions, they would be yelling that they should go after Cal Pickard. And I kept saying, no, he's terrible. And it was, no, he's not. He's just on Colorado. It's not his fault that they're bad. And I was like, no, one of the reasons why Colorado was terrible was because Cal Pickard was their goalie. And then they got Cal Pickard, and we all found out that, yes, Cal Pickard was real bad.
We had so many goaltenders that year.
I just heard this conversation. Who was it about? Like, someone in Ottawa, maybe? I think it was on Puck Soup. And they were like, yeah, you have the same conversation about a goal. Oh, Korpisalo. And it's like, yeah, well, he's never been on a good team. It's like, well, he's 29. Maybe one of the reasons he's never been on a good team is him. And they were saying
a bad goalie is going to make your team pretty bad.
I think they were saying the same thing about Merzlikins. He's been given a lot of starts to kind of show who he is.
Well, that was always the argument against, or not against, I guess it would be in favor of. That was the argument for years in favor of Risto. Was it's like, well, it's not his fault Buffalo's bad. It's like, yeah, but it kind of is. He's their number 1 defenseman.
He plays half the game. There's 35 minutes he's not on the ice. There's 25 he is.
I'm pretty sure he's a major contributing factor to why they're bad.
He's got like a pretty decent say in how the games go, And then the Flyers realized play him less.
A wild
Amazing
concept.
Yeah. And tell him to stop chasing as many hits. Like, we gave you your contract. You don't need to lead the league in anything now.
Settle down. Trying so hard all the time.
I always picture, like, if I'm Danny Briere, and I'm sure he doesn't use Cap Friendly. He's got his own list.
He's got an app, remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the app.
Made an app
They
for
still
them.
have the app.
Yeah, they have
They
the
have
app.
the app. The app didn't
I'm
lead
sure it's a
with Chuck
perfectly
Fletcher.
good app.
Oh, yeah.
It just was not. It was not anything that Flyers fans wanted to hear coming out of the mouth of Chuck
The
Fletcher.
presentation of the app, the reveal of the app was just very funny. Because he was like, you guys, I got an app. And the app tells me if the trades are good or bad. And like everyone was like, what the fuck are you on about?
Like, why doesn't
You're
the app
supposed
just
to
run
know
the team
anything.
then?
Why do you need the app? I need the
In
app.
fairness, at that point, there was not a single thing that Chuck Fletcher could have said
not a
that
thing.
people would have taken to not like that people would have taken well. Anything out of his mouth after not trading JVR, because that's when it happened, right? When he said it.
It was at that town hall.
It was like there was no way that he could say anything and it wouldn't be taken as this guy's a moron.
He could
I
have-
can't be running my hockey
He
team
could have
anymore.
written a check to every single person in that room that day, and he still would have gotten booed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The vibes were bad.
The vibes were repellent.
Abysmal. They were not good.
There's a reason they're doing like,
Is Wawa pizza good?
it's not bad.
I've never had it yet.
All right. I
It's
keep
not-
meaning to try it,
like,
and then
listen.
I'm like, but there's good pizza. Why would I get Wawa?
Yeah. Not like if you want a pizza at midnight,
Yeah.
but like I don't live in the city anymore.
Right.
So like, and I live a quarter of a mile. I can see the Wawa from my house.
Oh,
Like,
I miss those days.
I don't go there for the pizza that often,
Yeah.
but it isn't the worst.
Not
I've
having-
had much worse pizza.
Not being able to just like go to Wawa because
Yeah.
you live in the city really fucking sucks.
I lived in college. I lived right near Wawa for my entire time, which was great. And then there was 1 year when I lived in Fairmount. I lived near the Art Museum, and I was within walking distance of a Wawa. It was like 2 blocks away, and it was awesome. And ever since then, I've been too far away from a Wawa to really take full advantage of it, and I miss it. Great store.
Every
And
now
it's
and
not,
again.
but going back to the pizza thing, like I've
Yes.
never had the pizza. I don't know if it's good or not, but I feel like with Wawa, it's never like the strength of Wawa isn't that any one thing is amazing. It's that they have a lot of things that are all fine. So I would expect the pizza to be fine.
The problem is it all used to be good. And now
The
it's just
round
like,
chicken, when they went away from the round chicken patties.
Yo, when I was a youth and you would go to Wawa at 2:30 in the morning when you've had a few bevs,
Few peps.
my go-to was the buffalo chicken sandwich on a Kaiser roll.
Kaiser.
It was
So
so
good.
fucking good.
Oh, the original Buffalo Blue
Oh, it was
sandwich
so good.
was awesome. I still get the chicken strip sandwich.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Not as good, yeah.
The games keep coming and they don't stop coming.
That's
They don't stop
They
coming.
don't stop coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming.
That remix of that
Truly
song was
genius.
It was really good.
it like scarred me in some ways. I was like, oh my god, it's not stopping.
It just never stops.
How long is it gonna go? It never stops.
sometimes it just keeps going.
It don't
Just
stop
keeps coming.
coming.
I mean, he wasn't lying. They just don't stop
The
coming.
years really do be coming.
That I love. I also love the I forget who this was like about 10 years ago where someone took the apple bottom jeans song and they just replaced the last word of the chorus just saying jeans over and over again. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the jeans, and just keep saying jeans.
Like
the
that's
whole
a-
world looking at jeans.
That's a tremendous 30 Rock bit.
Like the best.
Yes.
The best. And then like the end is just like Shorty got jeans.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So good.
So Charlie, we talked about this in pregame.
Okay. What we talking about?
And it's just the last 15 games against the Bruins have gone real poorly. They're 3-10-2. The last time they won in Boston, April 5th, 2021.
So that was in that year.
That year when they played them 8 times, they lost 6 of them. They beat them 3 out of 4 in 1920.
Okay. But the one they lost was the
last game.
final game before
March
the world
10th.
shut down. Yeah.
March 10th they lose, and
Yeah.
but they beat them in the bubble, and they beat them 2 times
Right. They
before
beat them in the
world
round
shut-
robin. Yeah.
And since then, 3-10-2. They've beat them 6 straight times. They've beat the Flyers. The Flyers last beat the Bruins October 20th, 2021. It's like the Flyers are bad and the Bruins are good. Like, that's the way it's been for the last few years, so it makes sense. But they've beaten other good teams along the way. The Bruins just rock them.
Yeah.
Is it a specific matchup? Is it just Pasta? Like, is it something they
Pasta
do?
does kill them.
Yeah.
Pasta absolutely tears this team apart.
26 goals in 29 games, 42 points.
A little much from him. Like, we get it.
We get it. You're awesome.
Yeah.
That's a lot of it, honestly.
Just they have that superstar who kills us.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. Because, I mean, now they don't have... I mean, they still have Marchand, but they don't have Bergeron anymore.
Yeah. Chara's been gone.
Yeah. I mean, McAvoy's really good. They just draft really well. And for the longest time, and I guess still this year, even without Bergeron, they just... Like, we talked a lot about this year, justifiably, about the strength of the Flyers culture. The Bruins very clearly have the type of culture the Flyers are trying to get, because the Bruins, like, they lose guys and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They lost their top 2 centers.
They just keep winning.
They also hired the right coach.
And it's not that helps. Montgomery's really good. And Cassidy obviously was really good before that. And God, you know, the guy who looks like a marshmallow. What was his name?
I can't.
You know who I'm talking
The
about.
guy who looks
Looks like a marshmallow?
What was his name? The guy before Cassidy.
I don't remember
It
who
was
that
Claude Julien.
Julian.
Tell me he doesn't look like a marshmallow.
Yeah.
I never considered it before, but you're not wrong. He does kind of look like a marshmallow.
He does. Yeah.
But that's 3 straight legitimately really good coaches. It is.
Must be nice.
Should have kept Montgomery.
I mean, he was my choice.
Yep.
So
He was my top choice. Torts has done a very good job.
Torts,
but
He's fine.
it's just very funny that offseason, you and I were just like, it is an inevitability that it's either Tocchet or Tortorella.
Yeah.
Like, there is no, I want Montgomery, and maybe he's got an outside chance. He did play for the team. He was a longtime fan of.
I don't care who they interviewed. There was never any consideration for anybody
But John Tortorella and Rick Tocchet.
And yeah.
well, Tocchet's doing a good job in Vancouver, so maybe that wouldn't have been a bad idea.
And one of these 2 guys is probably going to win the Jack Adams this year. So, and Montgomery won last year, right?
Won last year.
Yeah, because his team didn't.
So there were a
lose
lot
the
of good
entire
options, I
regular
guess.
Season. At least they did. Like, at least they don't have Dave Haxtell anymore. That's really the crux of it, I'd say.
I would have to agree.
He had to be fired from the Flyers to learn whatever lessons he learned that made him not a terrible coach in Seattle.
I don't even know if
He definitely got better, but I still don't think he's a great coach.
No.
He's definitely better than what he was in Philly, without a doubt.
All right, let's go, boys.
Here we go, boys. Do you believe they don't look at the schedule? Because I don't.
Win a period, win a game. Oh, so they put end of period penalties 4-on-4? Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Oh.
I would like Noah Cates to score a goal.
That'd be fun.
Really,
I like
any
him.
of them.
Bill's like, I'm not being picky here.
Yeah, to be fair, any of them would make me pleased.
Cam Atkinson would be the funniest because
That
of
would be
everything we said on
outstanding.
pregame.
Yeah, honestly. We made a little bit of a joke on pregame about how, like, you can pretend that you know what's going to happen, but you actually don't.
It's true.
So
No one
it's
does.
kind of funny
It's
when
hockey.
you, like, make definitive statements on a pregame. Uh-oh.
Yeah. When he's out there, it's just like something is about to happen.
Well, once you reminded
And it is
me about
negative.
the Pasternak thing, it's like, oh God, he hasn't scored a goal yet in this game.
Yep.
That's coming, isn't it?
Oh, wow. There's our boy.
Oh, maybe Charlie
Charlie
Coyle is a first line
Coyle.
center who was
Yeah,
worth a
maybe.
first round pick.
Dang it.
Yeah, that's a bummer. You'd like to see them come out of the locker room and not give up that up.
Yeah.
4-on-4 is a little too much room for them.
We got a super chat, boys.
We got a super chat.
From Gary B.
Okay.
Charlie, specifically.
Hello.
Do you think Torts will sit Stahl in the playoffs? That would make me ecstatic.
I mean, a lot of it depends on who's back. Like, for example, if Ristolainen and Drysdale and Sealer are all back, yeah, I think he would sit Stahl. If only Sealer comes back, I'm skeptical. If Drysdale and Risto never play another game this season, I think Stahl probably plays all the playoff games. But if everyone is back for game one, yeah, I think there's a decent chance Stahl would sit. Stahl sat a lot of games this season.
He did.
He didn't start playing every night till they ran out of guys.
But if it's if Sealer comes back and those two guys don't, and then your 7 are the 6 playing tonight plus Sealer, I think they would bench Adder before they bench Stahl.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do not expect them to play Ronnie Adder over Mark Stahl in the playoffs.
Yes.
And honestly, I can't say that's the wrong move.
In fair, and I am very cognizant of Mark Stahl's limitations at this stage. He was a top 4 defenseman on a team that made it to the Cup final last year. And you would think that his weaknesses are less apparent in the playoffs when everything is slower because you're allowed to clutch and grab again.
Yeah. And
I'm not saying he would be good in the playoffs, but
no.
It's less likely he's going to get completely scorched the way he is over these last couple games now that he's getting played to a second pair defenseman again.
Yeah, the ice time has been less than ideal with him lately.
If you're using him as a 6, I think he can be fine. It's just now you're using him as a second pair defenseman.
Bad. Yes.
I mean,
and he's not that.
3 of their top 6 are hurt, and they traded another one.
Yeah.
At a certain point. I mean, I guess, yeah, you could say, well, Andre made the team out of camp, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they see in him a guy who, while he's made progress this season at the AHL level, they believe he's not quite ready, especially not ready to jump into a playoff race.
I feel like he's, just from the few things I've heard about him, he's improving the things he was already good at, and it's the stuff they want him to work on, he still needs to work on.
A lot of, for Andre, it's just that he's a risk-taking defenseman. That's one of the things they love about him. Mm-hmm. But
he needs to know when.
You need to have a better understanding of the risk-reward at this level. They don't want him to stop taking risks. They just want him to, not choose the wrong risk-reward balance 30% of the time, maybe only make the mistake 10% of the time. They'll live with that. But if it's 30 to 40% of the time it goes bad, then that's not going to work. I think that's kind of where they're at with Andre. They like him. They very much still view him as part of the long-term solution. I can tell you that. They're not writing him off by any means.
Where are they with Addard?
Addard, I think is
organizational depth.
No, I think they like him. I don't get the sense that he is Oliver Bonk, they view as he's one of the guys.
Yeah.
Andre, I think they view pretty much that he's one of the guys. For whatever reason, Hunter McDonald, they view him as he's going to be part of this thing. Addard, I think he's definitely, they're definitely giving him more consideration as part of the future than, say, somebody like Jennings. Absolutely. But.
That's in.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, there we go.
It was a nice 40 minutes.
They hung in.
They did.
Game's
that first one hit
anyway.
The post, I think. It wasn't
Game's not over.
It's not. You're right.
Yeah, you never know.
You're right.
It's only 2 goals. You scored 2 goals in 16 minutes. Come on.
They've done it before.
Get your stick on there at the end.
Looked like Atkinson was late picking that one up.
Yeah.
I wonder if he gets benched.
Nah.
Yeah, that's not Sandstro's fault.
That was
even
definitely
close.
not on
No, it's a
Sandstrom.
man standing on the back door by himself.
I'd have to go back through the entire play to see, because if Sanheim wasn't Sanheim definitely got pulled out, but that's okay for the defense they play in certain situations. I just don't know if he got pulled out too far or if Atkinson is supposed to recognize that quicker.
Wow.
Oh boy, they need to settle down immediately.
This might come unglued real
Settle
fast.
down, you.
This is getting rough.
There's another.
Yep. Jeez.
Wow.
Oh dear. This
thing
went
is-
south really fast.
Well,
And when you need to
Chill.
chill, you do it with Coors Light. Yeah, that was a pretty nice move.
I'm still breaking down the last goal, and Jake DeBrusque is going out here scoring.
This is becoming an issue. The
Game's
quickly,
still not over, boys.
quickly coming unglued thing 2 games in a row. And it's a shame because they played well for
They did. Yeah.
was really hoping they could get something out of it.
Yeah, just get a point even.
Ugh. Is anyone like doing defense or
It's a lot of guys standing around.
a lot of guys standing around?
Yeah, that was a chaos goal. Torres is calling a timeout, trying to settle the guys down.
He just stares at them.
That's like legitimately the scariest version of John
Yeah.
Tortorella.
He's
when
got-
he's
he's got
like
a-
sort of
not even
smiling.
He's got a
at you.
smile on his face, like,
A
oh
little
God,
bit of a
what is he
smile.
going to do to us?
Just thinking of shit to yell at you.
Yeah. Like when he's screaming and yelling, that's less scary
Yeah.
than when he's quiet and
Yeah.
smiling after something bad happens.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
Like you.
Playing Sandstorm
For Sandstrom.
when Sandstrom just gave up 3 quick goals.
I respect it.
It's good stuff.
It's a good dunk.
Yeah, like you played a good 40 minutes, and then from what was it the first goal's at 1:08 and the third one's at 4:04. Like you lose the game in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Got 15 minutes to win it.
Well, one thing that's interesting, and this goes back to the Toronto
Come on,
game.
dummies.
We obviously interviewed Brad Shaw after the game. All right, well, they got a power play.
Here
We
we
interviewed Brad Shaw after the game, and we were asking him about the beginning of the third period. Matthew scores that goal, then they go back down. They score immediately after. And Brad Shaw basically said, that's something that we really haven't fallen victim to a lot this year, where we just kind of lost ourselves for a little bit. But we definitely lost ourselves for a little bit. Tonight, they again lost themselves for a little bit. Like this was a problem for years with the Flyers. A goal turns into 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've done a good job this season avoiding it. These last 2 games, it's a problem that's rearing its ugly head again.
No, like the late Giroux era.
Yeah.
That was a thing. Like they score, face off, score. Like what?
Yeah.
How did they even get down the ice in this amount of time?
Yeah.
They had to go 100 feet.
I mean, the problem is that, especially with the injuries right now, the Flyers are simply not as talented as most of the teams that they've been playing.
Yeah.
And so they have to keep the foot on the gas the entire time, and they can't afford to fuck up at all.
Yeah.
And as soon as they do, it just goes off the rails, just
Yeah.
because they don't have enough guys capable.
They were already
Of
talent
stopping it.
deficient.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now the defense is a
And
shell
now you
of
have no
itself.
defenseman.
Yeah.
We got another super chat from Gary
Oh my
B.
God.
Gary B is sending it tonight.
Cool.
He says, Bill, here is where Cam scores a goal.
This would be the perfect.
This is a good Cam Atkinson goal.
Make it 5-3 with like 5 minutes left.
They get a goal here. I'm just going to say
Yeah, it's doable. I mean, when have they ever come back from a 3-goal deficit against Boston?
I mean, who
like
could ever?
erasing a 3-goal deficit against the Bruins is
Hard to
basically impossible.
do. Hard to do.
Yeah, it's real tough. Well, this
I wonder if
is
the team's
more
ever
like
done
what
it
we
before.
expected.
I wonder
this
if
game to
anyone's ever done it like in a playoff
In a
game.
playoff game, maybe?
be.
Do you think anyone's ever erased a 3-goal deficit against the Bruins? When the game felt lost? Yeah,
Coach calls a timeout.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's ever
JVR's on the ice.
JVR, yeah. He sure was. He was in the building. Even. Danny Briere was also in the
happened.
building.
Oh, shit. It's coming together.
It's coming together.
Keith Jones was probably there broadcasting. Gang's all here.
With verses.
Versus.
Come on, you dummies.
That's an understatement, JJ.
Puck movement we saw earlier.
Yeah, it seems to have slowed down. Oh, fucking hell.
TK.
Oh, good keep.
Nice.
That was very nice.
Good keep by Cam.
Come on.
Come on. Yeah.
He had a lane.
I feel like he
did.
Yeah, he had a shooting lane
He
there.
did.
No traffic or anything. but
True.
I would like to see him take that
The
shot.
puck's on net. Ah! Fuck.
Next time Konechny handles a puck clean will be the first time today.
I know. It's been
He's definitely having some
rough
puck
game
handling
for him.
problems tonight.
Yeah.
Shoot!
Come
Well,
on.
he shot that time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Another keep.
Nice.
Oh,
God damn it. That's a rough one.
The pressure was
Slid-
building.
Slid right out there. You just
God.
feel like that's would have been a momentum swinging goal, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like they were
It
building
would
to
have at
something.
least put them back in
Yeah.
this.
It just felt like that whole thing started to build a little
Yes.
bit. They had a few chances. And now they're coming back.
Oh,
You know
Jesus
what I will
Christ.
say about the power
Oh,
play?
God.
Come on.
It's visually better.
Visually, it's better.
Visually, it is
Visually,
better.
it's better.
Man.
Can't argue.
God, I will. That we've been
That's an
doing so
all-time
much.
way too long.
That was an all-timer
All-time
though, one by Hextall.
Yeah.
Well, it's visually.
Better.
The penalty kill's better.
Yeah.
Visually,
He wasn't wrong. Visually, it was better. It looked like less of a disaster.
I don't even know. Like, I mean, this year's been fun, and we had that little run really for like, January to March until the COVID shut down. But are we gonna know how to cover like an actually good team when and if that
No.
happens?
it's going to be like Ricky
it's gonna be
Bobby.
a
Like, I don't
real-
know what to do with my hands.
Yeah, like we've been playing the hits for a long time.
Yeah. It's going to be fascinating if and when this team gets good and we have to transition to like cover. Like, I mean, I love breaking down tape. I love doing analyses of plays and that kind of stuff. I've had to stop because the plays don't matter that much. If the team got good to the point where like the individual games really mattered from a like, are they going to win the division? That kind of like, get to a playoff series that legitimately could go either way. I would love so much to be able to do articles breaking down individual plays and talking to players about what they were thinking on this particular
Oh,
play.
the stuff you did when you would put the clips in your articles is like my favorite shit. Again.
Yeah,
You're very
I
good
love
at it,
doing that.
Charles.
But you can't do that when the games
game is
don't matter
fake,
all
yeah.
that much. When there are barely any stakes. Like this is the closest thing we've had to stakes, and this is like just trying to sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And a rebuilding year.
I mean, it's certainly better than the alternative.
Oh my
to be
God.
sure. The team plays hard. I mean, even tonight, yeah, they fell apart at the start of the third, but 40 minutes of good hockey, undermanned against a significantly better team. Like this team is better than what it was, to be sure.
Today's the 16th, right? Yeah. So the end of the season the end of the regular season is 1 month away.
Right.
Regardless of what happens over this next month, things aren't going that well right now.
Not the best.
This has been a much more enjoyable season than the 2 or 3 prior.
I've
So
legitimately-
easily
The
the
3
last 2,
prior.
Yeah.
I've legitimately had a good time
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
This has been a fun
The
season
last
of
it's
hockey.
really the last 3 because to me, and maybe this is me personally, by far the worst season was the 2021 year. The 3 years ago.
It just sucked.
That was that was the worst time I've ever spent at this job. It was awful. Like it was barely hockey. The team fell apart. Social media was at its most toxic because everybody was stuck in their houses and they were just yelling at the beat writer all day. It was bad.
Yeah, and you had like no access.
We had no
basically.
access at
Yeah.
all. It was all over Zoom. It was the worst. Like last year, people lump in last year, and I get it to a degree because the main story of last year was why aren't they rebuilding? Why haven't they fired Chuck Fletcher? On the ice, the team wasn't as bad. They were actually
No.
playing close games.
They got
They
better.
lost a lot, but they were in games.
Yes.
The 2 seasons before that, it was like every 4th game they were losing by 5 goals.
No, it was giving up 9 to the Rangers and
Yeah.
shit.
At least last year, the effort was there, even if nothing else was. because Tortorella would have actually like dragged someone out in the street and shot him if they didn't give him effort.
No, I know you just made the joke, but last year, like, they did draft 7th. They weren't good, but visually they were better.
Visually they were better.
Like,
yeah.
That is actually true.
And I mean, if you believe in hockey gods, maybe the effort, they were rewarded for their effort by lucking into Michkov.
Stop believing in karma in sports when the Phillies played the end of 2011 right, didn't rest their guys.
Oh, and they lose in the first round.
And then they go out in the first round.
Yeah. They were the reason why the Cardinals got in,
Yep.
and then they lose the freaking Cardinals in 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
Not
Not the greatest
Howard
time to be a Philly sports
Ryan
fan.
Howard should have just not played instead of getting nonstop injections in his foot.
Jeez.
Oh, look, he tore his Achilles. Yeah, probably
Beautiful.
should have seen that one coming.
Beautiful. Philadelphia sports. Would not recommend.
It's really a mental. It's a mental illness. Like, there are people watching us watch the game right now.
We love you.
We
love
know.
all of you.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm one of you. We're insane. I don't think I'm saying anything anyone doesn't know. Did you see the CJGJ quote?
Oh, where he was just like,
I'm obnoxious, so I thought.
yeah, he was like, I thought it was a
Brent.
compliment saying y'all were obnoxious.
I'm obnoxious. I
We
thought,
didn't
like,
ever have
calling
any.
you that was a compliment.
We were
That's
just using
outstanding.
napkins like animals.
Well, I've made that point about how the reason why I think the jersey should be primarily orange is because orange is an obnoxious color,
yeah.
and Philadelphia is an obnoxious city. It fits.
It's what we do best.
Yeah. And that's not meant to be a criticism of Philly. We embrace our obnoxiousness.
It's just the way we are.
Yeah.
I have a lot of things to say, and I'm going to yell them at you. I don't give a fuck what you think about it. So what do they have next? Like,
Everyone in the chat's it's devolving into madness.
it's
because-
devolving into madness in the chat.
Yeah.
We have to do a
With the-
post game too,
with
don't
the
we?
Yeah, we
Flyers.
still have the post game.
Much like the Flyers, the people watching this broadcast are starting to lose it.
It's just a shame. Like, after the last game, it was, okay, things are falling apart. Like, you think you steady things, and no, they have the Leafs again. That's cool. They play the Leafs on Tuesday.
Oh no, then the next 5 games.
Yeah, I just forgot
This could get real rough.
Yeah.
I was telling Kelly though, while you were going down to get the pizza, like, in fairness, if they can find a way to steal 2 of the next 5, the schedule gets dramatically easier. Once they get through this gauntlet, they have a lot of games against teams they should really cruise against, but they just need to get a few wins here.
Just steal. This felt like they're going to have to steal 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And 2-2 going into the second. All right.
Yeah, this is your chance.
This is because, listen, we just saw how it goes against Toronto. Like,
Yeah.
now they played a tight game with Toronto the time before that.
Yeah,
so it's
4-3
possible.
overtime loss. They get a point out of that. But
it's
yeah, it was scary. You know, that game on Thursday was like, yikes, these 2 teams. And as I said on postgame, it's not like this year's version of Toronto is that good. They're a playoff team, but they're certainly not a cup favorite this year.
no.
And they still look like they were on another level than this injury-ravaged version of the Flyers.
Tell you, even though, like, after that last Rangers game, then they have the Habs and Blackhawks. All right, that's not bad. Then you have the Isles. That's a pretty big game there. Could be playoff implications.
Well, then you get Buffalo, Columbus, and Montreal.
Yeah, Buffalo's in it now.
Yeah, well, they lost today.
Yeah.
I do not think that.
I don't think
I
they're
think
really
that's
in
smoke
it.
and mirrors. I think they're going to fall off again.
No, they had to win some games eventually.
Yeah.
They just happened to. Like,
Yeah.
they beat the Isles, so it was a 4-point game.
Yeah, the Isles aren't that good either.
No. It is. But they closed the season again with the Rangers, Devils, and Caps.
Yeah.
Like,
Some tough games in the Caps or
those
whatever,
are
but
all teams that have
the
beat
Devils
them
or whatever.
recently.
yeah, you're right. All 3 of those teams have beaten the Flyers recently. But what I'm saying is that after they get through this gauntlet,
not all
there's-
these division winners.
There's like a 2-week stretch where they should be able to rack up some
Yeah.
wins.
No, they have a bunch of teams like in this 7-game stretch. It's like going to or very well could win their division.
Yeah. It's tough. We knew we were talking about this a month ago about, oh God, once we get to the middle of March, we're really going to see what this team's made of because that schedule is tough. And it's been rough. And again, you don't have Sealer, you don't have Risto, you don't have Drysdale. They traded Walker. Like, I think that's also one of the reasons why it's hard for me to be too tough on them right now, because part the reason why they're struggling as much as they are right now is because, and I think this is a good thing, is because they had the guts to still trade Walker. Like, I think that was the right move. Getting a first-round pick for Sean Walker was the right move. However, if they still had Sean Walker, maybe they would not be losing this game.
Accurate.
Or at least, like, games recently maybe don't get out of control.
Yeah.
And you have an opportunity, like, to get a point something.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And again, I think it was the right move to trade Walker, but this is something that can result from purposely, knifing your best pairing by trading Walker. Obviously, Sealer, they didn't predict he was going to get hurt too, but even Sealer with, like, who are you going to put Sealer with? Adder? Like, that's going to be your new second pair? Like, come on. I like Ronnie Adder. He's not as good as Sean Walker was this year.
No. Yeah.
I legit worry about how bad Sealer's going to be with no Sean Walker.
I don't. I think he's going to be fine. Because he was without Sean Walker all last year, and he was good.
He wasn't as good as this.
Not as good, but he was still a play driver. His underlying numbers last year were really good. It was just I think what Walker allowed Sealer to be this year was he allowed Sealer to be a really good second pair defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a true talent, really good third pair defenseman.
Okay. I'll take that.
I honestly, I think that's what Walker did. But I still fully expect that Nick Sealer will be a good third pair defenseman. Maybe not when he comes back because he might be playing hurt.
Yeah.
But next year, I fully expect he'll be a good third pair guy. I just think that Walker allowed him to play a little bit above his ideal station because Walker was playing that well.
So to remind everyone out there, we do have post-game coming up after this.
Yay.
Maybe you want to get a few beers for post-game. Not a bad idea. You've been watching along with us. Hopefully you've been drinking Coors Light along with us. You need a refill? Go to CoorsLight.com/PHLY hockey. Get them Coors Lights, baby. I love doing this. It's really.
Come on.
Beer spokesman is what I was meant to be.
I was going to say, this is truly your final form. Like, you've arrived. Pitching beer on your hockey show.
Get it delivered to your house. I love that.
Dreams come true, kids. Oh, God.
All right.
All right, Felix.
That was a good save.
I know he's allowed 5.
That flurry of 3 was really, I can't really put that on him.
He hasn't been bad.
No, he's been good.
I think he's been okay.
Better than I thought he would be.
I don't pin this game on him.
Pasternak is
No, literally any goalie, it's the same thing right now. Like, you can't just have dudes standing in front of the net by themselves. 3 of them.
Tends not to work out well for him.
I don't think he tripped him. Well, at least we got the Bruins team total over 3.5, fam.
Bill's bets, baby.
Yeah, at least we got something. I think that was even money, so hopefully everyone followed me on that one and ignored the others.
I mean, how were you to know that Pasternak wasn't going to... I mean, he still could get a goal.
Yeah, what are the chances that they have 5 already and none of them are him?
Got a point on the second Coyle goal.
Yeah, maybe he gets that empty netter.
Maybe.
All right.
Just
not done yet.
Just get a little something going here. Or start fighting.
If the Bruins can score 3 goals in 3 minutes, why can't the Flyers?
That's a great question, It's clearly doable.
It can be done.
Score 2 in 8 seconds like the Leafs. That'd be great.
There you go.
We have a Matthews and a Nylander, right?
Somebody has to be. If you stacked 3 of our guys on top of each other, it could be like Austin
Trench
Matthews.
coat.
Yeah. Come on. Why can no one control the puck tonight? Ooh.
There you go, Mark. All right.
Go.
Push. All right.
Oh, it's
Deloriers.
Deloriers.
Why does he get... Oh, my God, he got one.
Holy shit.
He got it. Number 1 on the season.
Yes.
Nick Deloriers.
Did he bank that off the back of the goaltender?
No, there was space open.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying, why is he getting shifts in the third?
Well,
wow,
that's
you
why.
look stupid.
Oh, baby.
Don't you feel dumb, Bill?
Wow.
Sean
what an
Couturier
idiot.
just earned that C, getting goddamn Nick Deloriers his first goal of the year.
Look at that. Look at that.
4-4, baby, 4-4.
Nick Clutch Deloriers.
Oh, man.
Many people are saying
So Nick
it.
Deloriers now, in his 57th game of the year, has his first goal of the season.
First one.
Yay!
Good for Nick.
Legitimately love it.
No, good for Nick. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He has 1 fewer goal than Sean Couturier in calendar year 2024.
You have to make it bad. Good things happen. You always have to make
Sean
it bad.
Couturier is the captain of a premier franchise in the NHL. It's going great.
And you always have
2
to bring up
goals
the
in 5
captaincy.
minutes, baby. Let's go.
They really shouldn't have given anyone the C.
Yeah, set up shop in the
Yeah, like, if
in the
a Nick
Gretzky
Deloriers
spot,
goal
Santa.
doesn't get the boys going, what the
Seriously.
fuck will?
Yeah. Well, it's the second straight game where Sean Couturier made a really good play to set up a teammate in garbage time.
He's unselfish, as a captain should be. Come on. Oh.
Did they pull the goalie? Was that where that
Is that what happened?
Well,
Or
no,
did they just make
there was a
change?
guy that was
Yeah, someone-
storming in, and I couldn't tell if it was a line change or if they pulled the goalie and he was an extra attacker.
I
Let's
feel
see
like
if
JJ
the
would
old
have told
Twitter
us.
will clarify.
Let's give it a look.
JJ would have told us, no?
Well, it happened pretty quick.
True.
And everybody was focused in on what was going on in the offensive zone. So I'm not sure.
Charlie, if I write a note
Yes. About.
asking that we start running the power play from behind the goal line, could you slip it to Rocky? Just like
So he put it in his pocket.
Slip it under the door.
Put it under his office door, or maybe like in his lunch bag in the refrigerator. I'm assuming there's an office refrigerator at the practice
I don't,
facility.
Kelly, I don't have access to the office refrigerator.
Well,
sorry.
shit. Maybe just like drop it on the floor, like near him, and then he'll see it and pick it up and be like, "What's this paper?"
Or what we could do is you should write a note, make the note into a paper airplane, and we can throw it onto the ice when he's out there for practice.
Charlie, that's thinking.
There we go.
I like it.
I know.
Or we hire a skywriter to fly over his house.
Okay.
We don't,
don't know where he
lives,
lives.
though. There's a problem.
Probably Haddonfield. I feel like if you put
they
it
a
over
lot of
Haddonfield,
them live in Haddonfield. Yeah.
it would be a
Should
good
figure it out.
guess. I'm gonna slip a note into Keith Jones's pocket tomorrow. Just gonna, when he's not looking, I'm just gonna drop
Okay.
it in,
Okay.
and then he'll read it.
The
and he'll
reverse
say,
pickpocket.
Yeah, he'll say, "Wow, what a great idea! Running the power play from below the goal line."
Well, what we really have to do is we have to do an inception on Rocky Thompson. We have to go a dream within a
He
dream.
needs to go to sleep, and then in
He
the
needs
dream,
to go to sleep.
I mean, Chris Nolan just won the Academy Award. Like, Inception is back in, folks.
yeah, he drew the map for us. We know how to do this. We have to incept Rocky Thompson to run the power play from below the goal line. Oh. I feel strongly they can do this.
Good in! Oh my
Fucking
God!
Oh my God.
Are you
yes.
fucking serious?
Yes.
Morgan Frost.
That was dirty.
Yes. Happening.
I got to get the hot damn gif out for that one.
Fucking right.
Good pass too by Tibbet, but man, that was a nice goal.
Wow.
Oh, that was spicy.
I do like the also at the end with the celebration, the little sheathing of the stick.
Oh my god!
Love that.
Through
It's
the
a nice little
5
subtle,
hole with that?
nice little subtle celly.
Oh. You like that one, John?
5-4, man.
You like that
They're
one,
fighting.
John?
Sanheim.
Oh, come on.
Okay, I have to make this joke. I have to. I know we got the camera on us. Is there a camera on Bill Meltzer?
Yeah, if you want to lose FCC licensing.
We love you, Bill. But
Bill's the best.
We know.
Yeah.
We know the love for Morgan Frost knows no bounds from Bill Meltzer.
Sure.
Of the Meltzers I follow, he's number one.
Isn't
The wrestling journalist Dave. Yeah.
Oh, it's Dave. I
Yeah.
thought it was.
Oh, there's a
Bill, too.
wrestling journalist with
Yeah.
the last name Meltzer. What? Okay. As much as I'm gonna go back to the game, but what is there to journal about for a fake sport? What you're
There's storylines.
There's
Charles.
quite a bit behind the scenes stuff.
It's fake.
Is there?
Oh,
but you don't know what's gonna happen. It's not like you know what's gonna happen. So you could write about the things that happen after the fact, right?
Yeah, but okay, so here's my point.
Analyze it.
I would not people who review television shows. I would not consider them to be journalists. They're writers.
He's more of a critic and reviewer.
Okay.
But also, he does cover the business side and behind the scenes goings on, rumor and such.
Okay.
Who's going to change companies,
Okay.
whatever, shit like that.
Fair.
And now with everything going on with Vince McMahon, there's quite a bit.
That's fair. Yeah.
And now
All right.
back to the hockey.
Back to the hockey, where the Flyers
they've
suddenly
made
have
the
a chance
game,
to
man.
tie this game.
Yo, it's
I'm
happening.
really, really pleased
Come
that they
on.
decided not to roll over and die.
No, you got to give this team credit. They don't quit.
They're feeling it now.
I mean, Nick Deloriers scored a goal.
That got
as
him
you said,
going.
if that doesn't get you going,
Sean Couturier earned that C. Oh, fuck. Get back.
Oh, Felix,
man.
come on, man.
you got to have that save.
God damn it.
You got to have that save.
Oh.
Jeez. He's still pushing the guys. That's just and that's why Felix Sandstrom can't stick in the NHL.
Yeah,
because you need that save.
That's a backbreaker.
You gotta make that fucking save, dude.
I mean,
God damn.
Force.
He was off his angle a little bit,
Yeah,
Sandstrom,
he
and he was
lost
a little
it.
too far over.
He was hoping to get hit with the puck.
Yeah. Because Sanheim got
Fake
back.
name.
Sanheim basically prevented that 2-on-1. It was just a 1-on-1.
Yeah.
There was no threat of the pass.
That was Sandstrom.
Yeah.
He had to have
You
that.
have to make that save.
That's a save you have to make when your team is a goal down and getting pressure.
And they're rolling.
That was-
Yeah.
all the momentum.
You just killed
That's
them.
the backbreaker.
Well, Torts already pulled the goalie. I guess this was kind of like when Cooper pulled Vasilevsky, the game where Vasilevsky was stinking. It was just like,
What's the difference?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
yeah.
matter. Might as well pull him.
Man,
Come on, boys. Come on.
It's just where they are now. They're down the Felix Sandstrom and net. They have no guys.
No!
That was a nice
Wow.
setup.
Yes!
Oh!
Yes! Not dead,
All right.
bitch.
All right.
Joel times 2.
Joel.
I feel like Joel kills the Bruins.
I'd have to look that up.
Joel.
I mean, like, they never win, so he doesn't kill them, but he does damage.
He wounds them.
Yes.
I can't explain it, but Joel is pronounced differently than Joel. Don't ask me to. I can't expand on that further. But Joal, Joel, sounds different than Joel.
It just feels different.
Yeah, when you're saying it in your mouth, it feels different.
Never mind, not really. He has now 7 goals in 19 games.
Our pal Gary B is back with another super chat.
I mean, that's not bad though. It's okay.
Oh my God, another super chat
From Gary B.
Does Gary just co-host?
Does Danny B have availability at the carnival?
I don't know. Because
we don't get Danny, right?
They gave us Hilferty and Jonesy, I believe.
Good enough.
Jonesy and Hilferty,
no Danny, so I don't know.
Good enough.
You would think he'd be an attraction. Like, there's a lot of people out there with Briere jerseys. It's not like he's, obviously
I
Chuck
have a
Fletcher.
Briere jersey.
Can they tie it?
You're goddamn right they can, Charles.
If they tie it after that Sandstrom goal, this is an incredible comeback.
Come on.
Get yourselves a point, boys. Oh.
All right, Sandstrom's
Come
out.
on. Oh, Travis.
He did not hold that.
That was loose.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That puck was loose. I mean, they can get mad if they want, but he had every right to try to knock that out.
Yeah.
Swayman was not covering that puck.
Goal. Yeah, absolutely was loose.
Just grooving to some Weezer. I was like, oh, I'm on camera. So we can usually see ourselves, but we have the game on the monitor where we can see ourselves, and I keep forgetting.
It's so much better not seeing. At least me. Anyway, I don't care about seeing you guys.
They call a timeout?
All right.
Well, the Flyers already called theirs, so I guess this is Boston.
Because they're scared, Charles.
Yeah,
They're
Kelly.
scared.
That's right. They are terrified.
You got that straight. They know what's coming.
I want to get some Carly Rae Jepsen playing. Sure. It's a good song. Some CRJ.
I was going to say, like, I always used to make fun of the Carly Rae Jepsen, like, front of the pod. Albert was, like, way into Carly Rae Jepsen.
Yeah, Albert from BSH was a diehard Carly Rae Jepsen.
And I was always like, you guys are so fucking weird, but honestly, there's a lot of bops.
No, she's got some bops.
Yeah.
She absolutely has some bops.
Steel Dragon?
Come on, Morgan. Just a nice little fuck you, John Tortorella goal from Morgan Frost right here.
I'll take it.
Maybe a Joel Hattie.
Joel Hattie. Does he have a
3
hat trick
Joels
yet?
from Joel?
Does he have a hat trick yet in the NHL?
I
Joel
don't know. I
Farabee?
don't think he does.
Let's see. Does not look like it.
Let's go.
Oh, no,
1. Okay.
2021. So does that really count?
Nah.
Yeah, I've blotted that entire year
Fake
out of
year.
my memory.
Against the Isles.
Actually, I wish I blotted that entire year out of my memory. I have not successfully done so, but wish I could.
All right, I can't look at the chat because they are ahead of us, and I don't want to be spoiled.
Can't have that.
Win it. Win it. Duh.
It's icing,
Yay.
yeah.
Need a face-off win here, boys.
No,
now
forget
it's Dunk
Duncan.
Charlie. And
Forget Duncan Cosi. It's Charlie and Bill.
Duncan Charlie and Bill, even better.
Yeah.
Come on. Ugh. Come on, boys. Set.
No.
Nice.
Good play by Tippett. That was a great back check.
Excellent. Come on, boys.
Come on.
Let's tie this thing up.
Crunch.
Come on. Dude, Frost is having a hell of a game.
He is. Yeah, him and Farabee.
Do it for the Coors Light.
Oh,
You gotta be shitting me.
How's no one there?
God damn it.
Christ. Move your ass.
Yeah, you tell him, Hinkle.
Swayman.
Get it.
They got it.
Oh, Igor, now is not the time.
Yeah.
That's probably going to die.
That's a shame. Hell of an effort, boys.
Shoot it. Shoot it.
Welp.
You know what?
Flyers fall by a 6-5 final score.
They made it fun.
They did make it fun.
That was, considering the way the third period started,
Yeah.
could have been a lot uglier, could have been a lot worse. A result, I would
See you
say.
for post game, boys.
Okay.
We got to wrap so I can throw it to post.
Brenna, question. Do we cut off and then come back in, or do we just keep it rolling into post game?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got to close out the watch party.
So that was, it was a lot more fun than it could have been considering the start of the third period. Pretty good effort. Just a few bad minutes there, but no bad minutes here in the PHLY studio. You're going to be right back with us for post game in just a few minutes. This was the watch party brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Make sure you go to CoorsLight.com/PHLY hockey. Get the beer delivered right to you. We'll be back with post game in just a little bit.
We all silly like the mayor.